Other than that, any questions, any comments, anything anybody want to say before we throw down? We're going to throw down. This is a feast day. It's a Sabbath day. And we're going to spiritually feast on this word. If it's the Most High's will. And get her done. We all good? Mm-hmm. All right, well, look, we're going to start this off in 1 Corinthians, the first chapter, 26 through 31. The majority of this, we're going to be going into the early life of our patriarch, Abraham. And examine his life and how he answered the divine call, the divine invitation of the Most High. But before we get into his life story, the first part of it, we're going to lay some groundwork and make sure we have prepared minds when we are answering the call of the Most High. And you don't look at the call of the Most High like bill collector calling you or something, or some nagging homeboy you really don't want to talk to, you know. Make sure we got our minds prepared and our hearts prepared to really answer the call. You understand? And then put that into action. Because the Most High ain't calling you just to shoot the breeze with you. It's, hey, what you been up to? You know. How's it feel outside? That's not why he's calling you. Right. His call is a command, actually. You understand? It comes with a promise. And then you put that command into action because of what you believe, your faith. So the majority of this class is going to be examining the life of Abraham, his early part of his life. And see, you know, the call that went out, the promise that went to him, and then his faith, his belief, and then the ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? Because the Most High call you, you start thinking in your mind, everything going to be smooth for you, you know. Everything's just going to be A-OK. And which in the end it will be, but you never prep your mind to go through ups and downs, trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? In our minds, we actually think this is going to be a smooth sailing into the kingdom because the Most High called you. You feel me? But it's actually opposite. It's like get ready to endure. Get ready to go through all these trials and tests because of you claiming you actually believe. You believe, well, you're going to be tested. That faith or that belief will be tested and tried. That way you can be battle tested and approved to get to the kingdom. Job well done, good and faithful servant. He ain't just saying that because you didn't have to go through anything to inherit his kingdom. He's saying that because, look, you endured. You actually got through it. And who don't want to hear them words? Job well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a little bit. Have authority over all this right here. All right, so that's what we got if we endure, if we're chosen. Many get called, but only a few get chosen. Many get called in for the interview, but everybody don't get the job. That's right. You feel me? So get that out your mind too. You're like, well, no, he called me. Yeah, he called you. Yeah, everybody don't get picked for the job though. And if you can accept that from UPS or your little employer right now, then why you can't accept that from the Most High? Many get called, but only a few get chosen. All right, so we're going to start this out in 1 Corinthians, the first chapter, y'all. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, we're going to start around verse 26.
1 Corinthians chapter 1.
Again, the divine invitation. The Most High called you, and he's divine in nature. That's an invite, right? Who ain't going to accept or show up to a divine invitation? All right, RSVP. You gonna RSVP this deal? What you gonna do? Well, let's see. Let's see, we got our hearts and our minds prepared to really enter into the kingdom of the Heavenly Father. Or we gonna make excuses like some folks we know. Make excuses. Let's get her done, Negro.
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26.
Yes, sir.
For ye see your calling, brethren. How that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty men, not many noble are called.
Now he said, your brethren, trip off your calling, not many wise, mighty, or noble are called. Who's the most wisest man you know in the flesh today? Anybody, raise your hand. Who does the world esteem as wise? Who? The foolish. Give me a name though. That's a whole bunch of folks. Albert Einstein is someone that's wise. Anybody else? You know. What about that one Gentile that's paralyzed in a wheelchair? Can't even talk. He got to talk through a Stephen Hawking. You feel me? Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, right? The Most High said, trip off your calling and how that not many wise are called. You would think with this truth, with these keys to eternity, Albert Einstein would have brought you this truth. Or Stevie Hawking, the paralyzed cat, the guru. Or Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple computer. You thought he'd have brought this to you. But the Most High say, your divine calling, it ain't many wise men according to the world that are called. And the next said, not many mighty. Who's mighty in the eyes of the world today? Mighty. Donald Trump. Good job. Good job. Who else? Somebody else said something.
Rich.
Yeah.
Give me names.
Give me names though.
Names.
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Oh man, yeah.
It would be supreme.
Yeah. So not many wise like Albert Einstein and Steve Jobs. Not many mighty like who? Who we say? Bill Gates, Donald Trump, right? And not many noble. What does noble mean? Go ahead, Davion. Go ahead. Yeah, I see you over there. The wheels turning. Noble, like Colin Powell.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, there you go. Like the Dalai Lama or somebody, or like the Queen of England, the Pope Francine. You feel me? So you think about all these people that hold all these titles. They wise, they mighty, they noble, but ain't Mother Teresa. But ain't none of them coming out with this truth right here. None of them is dropping heavenly jewels to get you into the kingdom. So the Most High say, look, examine your calling. Not many wise, not many mighty, and not many noble are called. Trip off that. You think of what you got, and then trip off this. What you got, the most mighty can't even purchase it. You thought the Rothschilds, the richest banking family in the world, when you done talking. The richest banking family in the world, they set the price for gold every morning. The Rothschild banking family. But Evelyn Rothschild, and that's a man, but his name's Evelyn. Evelyn Rothschild can't buy a piece of what you got with his money. So you see how precious our faith is. You see how precious this divine calling is. Trip off that. Let that sink in. All right, next verse, my brother.
But Yah hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Yah hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
See, so he chose things that are despised and rejected. You feel me? Like, look at us. We're in the basement of the Sears building. Paying rents every week. Right? We ain't in the mega church. We not, you know what I'm saying, esteemed as, you know, wise spiritual men and none of that, but trip out how the Most High move. He choose the weak things that bring down the strong. He choose what the world think is foolish, but we are fools for the Messiah's sake, to take down what the world seems as wise. That's how the Most High get down, man. He checkmate anything that's exalted, anything that's conceited, anything that the world esteems as like, okay, yeah, that's righteous. That which is esteemed in the eyes of the Most High, the eyes of man, is an abomination in the eyes of God. That's what the scriptures say. I need that if you grab it for me, Luke 16 and 15, real quick. You get a chance to. Go ahead, Dan.
And base things of the world, and things which are despised, hath Yah chosen, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
He said the Most High chose base things of the world, meaning low things, not high things. You see how the Most High get down? And trip off how his son maneuvered when he was here. The Son of the living God didn't live in a palace, right? For the most part, didn't have any place to live. He was always on the move, right? Didn't ride around in the flyest chariot. Walked everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Like straight humble. Like if anybody deserved to be getting pampered and lilies thrown at his feet and, you know, with the finest silk of Egypt, it should have been the Son of the Most High. But he had on regular garments. You understand? Hung out with common folk that a lot of folks despise.
That's right.
What are you over there doing eating with them publicans and sinners? What are you over to look at him? He over there with them unlearned men. Ain't none of them been to school. Peter's a dropout. The other guys are zealots. He's with unlearned men. People that the world would look at and despise. He used these men to bring down the entire world. You feel me? To preach the gospel. So don't never feel as if you insignificant in this thing.
That's right.
Is what I'm saying. Never feel like that. Never feel like, well, dang, I know the truth, but all that wisdom I got in the light bill still late. I'm a little short on money. I mean, welcome to the team. We all tight on money and, you know, got the pink notice and you got all that. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. Welcome to the team.
Yes, sir.
We all just trying to, you know, rob Peter to pay Paul. You're trying to borrow this over here. I pay you back and just get this paid over here. It's just what it is. You understand? But this should make everybody here feel better because the Most High choose the base things, rejected things, things that the world look at as low to bring down the mighty.
Right.
You see? That's why he said, blessed are the poor, for yours is the kingdom. But you poor maybe materially, but in the spirit you rich because you got something they can't even buy.
That's right.
No matter how much Evelyn Rothschild wanted a piece of the spirit, he can't buy it. He can't buy it. And when the Most High casts his chips in, it's judgment time. And at that point, he has insufficient funds. He's insufficient in the spirit.
All the worldly treasures ain't equal up to nothing.
It ain't equal to nothing. Yeah, okay, it's what it is. So never feel like you're insignificant in this walk. Your calling is very precious. And the Most High called those. He called those that are low to bring down the mighty. Think about the great prophet Moses. Right? When he figured out what it was, he like, look, my people in the mud, making bricks without straw, send me to the mud. I'm good. The scripture tells you he rejected the riches of Egypt because he had more respect for the recompense that the Most High was going to bring to some of his people. You see that? Go ahead, bro.
That's why they can't answer no questions. When he tell them call the show, that's why they don't call. They can't even make them to the what. They don't know what to say yet.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. But you would think
that kind of wisdom they can't entangle with that.
Yeah. You can't buy that type of wisdom in a store.
Right.
On sale for $59.99.
Plus tax.
Yeah, plus tax. It don't work like that. All right. So trip off the last. Read the last verse again for me, Daniel. Verse 28.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
And base things of the world and things which are despised have Yah chosen. Yeah, and the things which are not to bring to naught things that are.
Things that are not to bring to nothing or not the things that are. That's a powerful God right there, man.
Yeah.
Took a shepherd and brought down Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Real talk. Like took a shepherd boy and brought down Goliath. That's how the Most High get down. So never feel like, okay, well, I'm just insignificant. The ways of the world are just weighing me down, and then you let that allow you to jump ship. You feel me? And you're on your path to the kingdom. Never let that. This is material. All this is gonna pass, right? You can pay your bill this month and be behind the 8 ball the very next month. That's just so. Don't let bills and the ways of this world stop you from doing the job the Most High called you to do.
That's right.
It's a divine invitation, right? And you can't renege on that because of what? Some worldly pressures? Well, okay, what if the Messiah made excuses? Never did anything wrong, but made excuses. Like, dang, I don't like the way she's looking at me over there. Dang, I don't like the way the priests and them, they over there trying to kill me. Dang, I don't like the way they talking about my mama. Because remember, his mama got pregnant while his daddy wasn't around. Right? Now, if you corner, what you gonna call his mama?
Oh.
Yeah, all right, they going to. You gonna call her they going to. Right? In the spirit, we all know what happened. But if you corner, and look, everybody whispering because it's in the records. You know what I'm saying? When as his mother was espoused to, and then he popped back up and he like, look, I'm thinking about putting you away or making a public example or something. So it wasn't a private matter. Everybody knew what had happened. Everybody knew who she was espoused to. So let's think about what they was calling his mama. Oh, that's the son of, the garden tool right there.
Right.
You see? But that didn't stop him from doing what he knew what he had to do. He had to get it done.
That's right.
Right? So never let this stop you. Get her done. All right? It's fire and brimstone if we don't finish our job. We have to finish. Go ahead, Elyon.
When you read in 28, it says, and things which are despised have Yah chosen. You can relate that to us today.
Yeah.
Despised people.
Yeah.
Yah chosen them.
Yeah. Despised people, but still chosen by the Most High. Still despised, but chosen. All praise. All right, verse 29, Hebrew.
That no flesh should glory in his presence.
That's right.
But of him are ye in Christ Yeshua, who of Yah is made unto us wisdom, and righteousness, and sanctification, and redemption.
All that in the Messiah. You see that? That's a gift of salvation for you. Free gift. Come on, Hebrew.
That, according as it is written, he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord.
That's right. Don't be glorying about your job, or how many cars you got, or, you know, your house, and we don't care nothing about none of that. Because all that's going to pass. All right? If you're going to glory in the Most High. All right, let's get to the next scripture. 2 Peter chapter 1. 2 Peter chapter 1. Drop that. Again, the name of the class is called The Divine Invitation. The call of Yahawah El Elyon. Yahawah is the Lord. El is God. Elyon means Most High. And today they say aliens are going to attack. Aliens. Yeah, all right. That's Hebrew for Elyon, which means Most High. Something that's not of this world is going to invade. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We agree.
You're correct.
But we're not talking about E.T.
Right.
Riding his bicycle. All right, 2 Peter chapter 1.
What verse?
Start at verse 1, my brother.
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Simon Peter, a servant.
Anybody there?
How we looking? Everybody there? All praises.
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Simon Peter, a servant and an apostle of Jesus Christ, to them that have obtained like precious faith with us through the righteousness of Yah and our Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach.
Notice it said have obtained like precious faith. The same precious faith. See, Peter even knew that. The right-hand man of the Messiah. He knew the faith, this belief that we have, this calling that we've been called into is precious. Never take that for granted. Everybody don't have faith. Everybody don't have the knowledge that you have. So never take that for granted. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Grace and peace be multiplied unto you.
Unto who?
Unto you.
He ain't talking to everybody. Those of the same faith. Multiplied unto you. Come on.
Through the knowledge of Yah and of Yahawah our Lord.
See, so there's knowledge that come with it as well. That come with your faith. There's a knowledge that's added to it. Right? You don't just have blind faith.
Right.
There are spiritual gifts that come with the faith that you profess.
That's right.
So in other words, you're not supposed to plateau and, you know, fall off in this. You're supposed to be increasing. And now if you're diligent and you constantly apply yourself, you will. But if you know, just playing with your thumbs all day and just, you know, yawn, I don't want to pray, I don't want to fast, I don't want to meditate, I don't want to ask the Most High for no type of spiritual jewels, you ain't going to get it.
That's right.
You ain't going to get it. You're going to fall off. You're going to be doing this with the water dude right before it slide down the drain. Circling the drain. You don't want that to happen. You want to increase. In order to increase, you have to be diligent, though. See what I'm saying? Most High just don't show up at your door, knock on the door like, I'm here, a big old crate full of gifts. Have at it. It don't work like that. You got to apply yourself. All right, let's read Hebrew.
According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue.
Now that's beautiful. Well, you see how Daniel hitting that boy, he stopping at all them commas. and you getting the whole gist of what Peter is trying to say here. Right?
Right.
What has happened here is nothing to be sneezed at or swept up under the rug. This is divine. This is exceeding precious promises. This is faith. This is divine power. We talking about everything our foreparents lost in the garden.
That's right.
He talking about getting that back to you with interest. You don't want it though, you know, it's too hard. You don't want it, you know, it's too hard. Gotta pray again, yeah. You see what I'm saying? We gotta check that spirit, that demonic spirit that tempts us. And that's what it is. You actually get tired of serving the Most High. Be real with yourself. Dang, I gotta pray again. Dang, study some more. All right, come on. You must not want divine power. Right. You must not want this exceeding precious promises. You just want to be, you know, remembered or not remembered. You know, didn't make no type of mark on the world. You just, you know, your average, you know, go along to get along Negro in America. That's life for as good as it gets. With news of death every day. With news of your friends ODing on drugs every day. This is as best as it gets. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises.
Hold on, what kind of who?
Exceeding great and precious promises.
Wow, what does it mean? What does exceeding mean? Huh?
It means above grace. Spilling over.
Spilling over. Exceeding great and precious promises. Wow.
That's beautiful.
Wow. He didn't say, you know, half full, you know, lukewarm, mediocre, maybes. He didn't say none of that. He said exceeding great and precious promises. Come on, Hebrew.
That by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature.
Oh, that word divine again. Divine nature. What does divine mean? Who knows? Divine. Holy.
Set apart.
That's what holy means. Divine means God-like.
Yeah.
God-like. Outside of the normal.
Yeah.
You understand? Not natural, supernatural. Or preternatural, like the brother bring the definition out sometime. Not what you know is natural, what you're used to seeing. Divine, spiritual powers. All right, let's read, brother.
Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
That lust. That ain't just sexual, just to let you brothers know that. And sisters, that ain't just sexual. You lust to be an idolater. My grandma raised me to do it like this. I'm just going to keep doing it. Yeah, I know. You lust to do what you want to do. Whether it's sexual, whether it's spiritual, whatever.
Lust for power.
Yeah, power. If you hell-bent at doing what you know is wrong, you're lusting to do it. It's an overwhelming desire to do something that you know you ain't supposed to be doing. That's all it is. And notice it says corruption is added to lust. So we are partakers of the divine nature. We have escaped the pollution or the corruption of this world that happens through lust. Who don't want to escape the corruption of this world? You reminded every morning. You know how corrupt you are every morning when you wake up. You can't even speak to your spouse without going to the bathroom first. Yeah. Well, that corrupt nature. That's not divine nature coming off that tongue. That's corrupt nature. Yeah. Yeah, you about died last night. Just your soul actually leaves your flesh when you go to sleep. And if your soul remains apart from your flesh too long or your spirit too long, you die. So when you rise in the morning, the Most High has granted that your soul returns to your flesh. Everybody don't get that return though. A lot of people died last night in their sleep. So you're reminded every morning when you wake up how corrupt you are and how you ain't partakers of the divine nature as of yet. We're not. We ain't partakers of the divine nature right now, but we shall be if we endure.
That's right.
You see? But soon we throw some Listerine down our throats, brush our teeth, and get out them boogers out our eyes, we forget about all that to the next morning. And you all thinking you a God right now. Let's read Hebrew.
And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to your virtue knowledge, and to your knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity.
All this got to be added to your belief. All of everything he just named must be added to your faith.
That's deep right there, boy.
And so it ain't just I believe. It come with a long list of attributes that must be added to your belief.
Check.
Come on, Hebrew.
For if these things be in you and abound.
And who?
And abound.
See, not only are they in you, they must remain. They must remain. Come on, Hebrew.
They make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. Lacketh these things is blind.
Is what?
Is blind.
Come on.
And cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins.
You see? So these things must be in you and abound. That way you will not be barren but fruitful. But if you lack these things, you blind. And you done forgot you've been purged of your old sins. You back bragging on your old self. What you used to do when you was in the world. You see? So if these things aren't in you and don't abound, meaning remain, you blind. And you won't be a partaker of the divine nature or your God-like nature that our foreparents had before they reneged on paradise. Flat out. All right, Elyon, you had something else? I see you back there, wheels turning, Hebrew. What's going on?
That's heavy. That's a heavy scripture, man. It says you cannot see the far off, so some people can't see the end game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't see the end game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. They're pump faking. Come on, Hebrew.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
To make your what?
Calling and election sure.
He said give diligence. Make your calling, this divine invitation, and your election sure. Give diligence. Diligence means you're constantly on it. You're not part-timer. You feel me? This ain't something you just do on because you find out the Saturday is the day. No, this is your life 24/7, 365. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, check in or check out, man.
That's right.
That's just what it is. You see that? He said give diligence. That means you constantly on this thing. You live this. You're not pump faking. This ain't something you just do. This is not, in other words, this is not a hobby.
That's right.
You know, hobbies are just something you do in your spare time. You see that? This ain't a hobby. This is a full-time job, full-time grind, spreading the gospel. And he said, give diligence. Make sure you constantly on this thing, man. If not, you're going to plateau off and then be circling the drain. We done seen it before. We done seen it before plenty of time. Brother circle the drain, man. Lost his spirit, ran out of gas. Because he ain't diligent. And why wouldn't you take this beyond serious? Like, what else you got going on in your life that's of a higher priority than this?
Nothing.
What else you got going on? Name it. Like, what's so important to you? Name it. In your mind, rhetorical. You feel me? Like, name, think about, dang, the most important thing I got going on right now is what?
Nothing.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we all got responsibilities. Yeah, we ain't never telling y'all to renege on your responsibilities. You feel me? We all got families we got to take care of and provide for and all that. You dig? But you can do all that and miss the kingdom.
That's right.
Because you didn't make your calling sure. You feel me? Pope Francine take care of his family. George Whiskey Bush take care of his family. Barack Obama take care of his family. Okay. Okay. So of course you won't get that off when them brothers say, you know, be a hobo. Ain't nobody even said that.
That's right.
You gotta take care of your responsibilities. But where your priorities at though? Where your priorities at? There's many people that go to work and get whipped, got 3 jobs, get their back whipped, and ain't got no spirit. And get their spirit all over to the heathen. You see that? They ain't made no time to straight get intimate with the Most High.
You know what I peeped out here, bro? And when you do that, when you do start going super, super hard and you start putting the Most High on the back burner, you end up falling short with the worldly stuff anyway. You end up falling short. So it's like you to put away your divine power, your divine invitation to go into this world and put that before the Most High. Like he said, we ain't no hobos and none of not promoting it. Go out there and take care of your family. But when you put that before the Most High, you always fall short.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. It's a scripture in Proverbs 23. Y'all should write it down. Proverbs 23. It say, money grow eagle's wings. Fly away. You feel me? You can chase the money all you want. It's going to fly away. As soon as you start chasing the money, it start running.
Right.
That's what it is. How about we chase the kingdom?
Straight up.
You understand? And then he looked, even the Messiah said that. He was like, look, it's easy for the Most High to give you that. It's easy for the Most High to make a poor man rich.
Right.
You understand? Seek ye the kingdom of the Lord and his righteousness. Seek ye that first. And then all this other stuff will be added to you. That's easy work. You feel me? It's just our problem, we're not prioritizing right. You understand? We're not prioritizing right at all, and we're losing out. We're losing out. Hey, what up, bro? He feeling it.
Hey, it works on the corner level too, like you said. Say you went a lot and you rich, right? But you gotta keep that. It's hard to keep that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Everybody coming there.
Yeah. All right, let's read that verse 10 again, Daniel Solomon.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
Never fall. You see that? That's a promise. She would come with the calling of the Most High. There's a call. There's a promise. And then you put that into action based off your faith. There's a call, promise, put it into action. The only way you put it into action is because you believe what he called you to do and the promise he gave you. Like, oh, okay, well, let's get that done. Not saying you ain't gonna be tested. Not saying you ain't gonna be getting, go through hell and high water. Not saying it's gonna be real smooth for you. But if you endure to the end, if you get through them tests, man, you got an abundant, that say right there, you shall never fall. But that verse 11 say, Daniel.
For so an interest shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Yahawah HaMashiach.
Who don't want an abundant entrance into the kingdom? An abundant entrance. You see, we reading words like divine, exceeding, abundant. Who don't want that? Precious promises. Who don't want that? I do. You understand? And if that's what you want, then he said, look, give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. Diligent in this thing. You feel me? Yeah. When you look up, years go by, you be like, dang, I done been around that long, huh? That's what's up. You feel me? Seems like yesterday when I first walked into that class on Goodfellow and Natural Bridge. Seems like yesterday. You see what I'm saying? But you look up, a decade will fly by.
That's right.
Blink of an eye. Because you've been slowly stacking these crumbs and now you got a brick. You feel me?
I like how you put that.
Look at that back there laughing. Hey man, don't be getting caught on me, brother. Don't be getting caught on me, brother. I've been saying. Hey, you stack a little bit every day diligently, and you look up over time, and you got a solid foundation. That's what that's about, right? It's an old proverb, not in the Bible, but it's an old saying. How can an ant eat an elephant?
Right.
Bit by bit.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time, man. You feel me? You look up, that elephant and be digested and ate by that little old ant. That was the same thing even in the scriptures. You'd be like, man, I ain't getting my increase. I ain't doing, man, just get up in the morning and read you a little something before you get about the door. Read a chapter in Proverbs or something, or some Psalms or something. And it'll blow your mind the Most High how you running right into folks and your conversation will be about what you just read this morning.
That's right.
You're like, dang, that's supernatural things going on right there. You feel me? That's how it gotta be. Piece by piece. Diligence. But see, that's where the patience come in too. Patient. Diligent over time, and you look up and you be on your way. Right? But you got to make your calling and your election sure. Right? Don't be the one that miss your mark because you wasn't adding to your faith all these things, virtue and patience, and brotherly love, kindness, and charity. Don't be the one that miss out because you wasn't adding to your belief. Don't be the one to miss out. And don't be the one thinking just because you believe it, it's going to be so smooth for you.
Right.
Like a baby's bottom. No, who told you that? You finna be tested every day. It's going to be like 100 levels of hell broke out. But you got to endure that. All right, let's drop it. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 1 next. Ephesians chapter 1. You start around verse 15, my brother. Again, y'all, this is called the divine invitation.
Luke 16:15?
Yeah, Luke 16. I need brother to read that too. Luke 16:15, we did a change. We're going to Ephesians 1 next. Ephesians 1, 15 through 23. This is called the divine invitation, the call of Yahawah Elyon. Yahawah means the Lord, El means God, Elyon means Most High. So the call of the Lord, God, Most High. Elyon. Sound like alien, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about to be an Elyon invasion, all right? Yeah. These heathens know what they saying. You feel me? Something that's not of this world is about to invade. That's all they saying. How ironic that Elyon in Hebrew means Most High. Every time you say Most High, you're saying Elyon. Elyon. They know exactly what they're saying. You feel me? So look, Luke 16, 15, if you can read that for me. Now this is going into memory read. The Most High chose the base things of the world to confound the mighty. He chose the despised things of the world to confound the mighty. He ain't choose the wise. He ain't choose the mighty. He ain't choose the noble. He chose the rejected, the base, and the despised to give his truth to. Right? Because what man esteems is an abomination to the Most High. Luke 16 and 15. Let's read that for me, y'all.
Go ahead. Luke chapter 15, verse
16 and 15.
Chapter 16, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men.
Yeah.
But Yahawah knoweth your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High.
You see that? That's the Messiah talking right there. To the Pharisees and them. He said that which is esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the eyes of the Most High. Right? That's how he able to take unlearned men like Peter and them. You feel me? Andrew and them. Unlearned men. And brought down so-called wise men of the world. Confounded the world, turned the world upside down with this truth. You see what I'm saying? That's how the Most High get down. So we read that and let it be known. Never feel like you're insignificant in this movement right here. Is it as significant as the pinky toe is on your foot? Huh? You significant. Try to catwalk. Now y'all say try to catwalk without your pinky toe. And see how cool you gonna be walking. You ain't gonna be walking cool at all without your pinky toe. Alright? So look, we in Ephesians, the first chapter. Everybody cool? There ain't no Amber Alert, is it? Oh, yeah. Alright, Ephesians chapter 1, again, the divine invitation, the call of the Most High. Alright, Ephesians chapter 1. We're going to get into the life of our brother, our forefather, Abraham, should I say, short. Ephesians chapter 1, 15 through 23. Yeah, to the end of it.
Reading in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
Wherefore I also, after I heard of your faith in the Master Yeshua, and love unto all the saints, cease not to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers, that the Elohim of our Master Yahawah HaMashiach, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him.
That was what he said, giving you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him.
What?
Huh? So you ain't just, it's deeper than you just saying you believe. You're supposed to be increasing.
That's right.
Wisdom, spirit, revelation, knowledge. And you get there by being diligent. That's what it is. He ain't just gonna show up at your door with a tote from Walmart saying, here you go. Spiritual gifts to the system right here. To work with them. That ain't how it work. You gotta be diligent. It's just like any samurai warrior. Samurai, you feel me? Or anybody that's cold with his sword. Or any ninja or whatever. They train every day. They constantly train. They constantly sharpening their sword.
That's right.
That way when it's time for battle, they'll cut if they can. They sword so sharp, get cut. Because they're constantly, they're disciplined and they're constantly sharpening their sword. This is not a hobby to them. It's not something they get to, you know, when they feel like it. Like, you know, you go crocheting or whatever for the women, you know, whatever you do as a hobby. This is not a hobby. You understand? This is your life. And if you treat it like that, you'll increase. You'll increase more and more. Abundantly, we've been reading. exceedingly, right? But you got to treat it like that. Any samurai warrior is highly trained. You watch the movie Ghost Dog with Forrest Whitaker. He was a samurai. He lived by the code of the samurai, right? And every morning he was up on that roof going through his motions, swinging his sword. Every morning it wasn't something he just, I don't feel like picking up a sword today. This whole thing right here. No, every morning he made it his business to train. Now what you do, you say, well, I ain't got enough time. You ain't got to get up. If you got to get up at 5:30, get up at 5.
That's right.
Are you willing to make a small sacrifice like that to get you an increase? Ain't number 30 extra minutes. As you think you finna be asleep, it's finna go by like 5 seconds anyway. You can't get up 30 minutes earlier just to jump into some Proverbs, to read a quick gospel or something real quick. Pray to the Most High, give me some understanding on this before I start my day. You can't make a small sacrifice like that?
For yourself?
You can't do that? So in other words, you're gonna find out there are no excuses. You got the time to get up, you just busy counting them Z's.
That's right.
When you just get up 30 minutes early, it's 30 minutes, and get into some script. All right, let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 18.
Yes, sir.
The eyes of your understanding being enlightened.
The eyes of your who?
Understanding.
Being who?
Being enlightened.
Wow, come on.
That ye may know what is the hope of his calling.
Of his who?
Of his calling.
Of his calling. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know the hope of his calling. Huh? Your eyes need to be enlightened. You need understanding. You need to increase. Let's read, Hebrew.
And what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.
Now we talking about riches, not Federal Reserve notes, riches. Spiritual riches. Okay, come on.
And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe?
Hold on. We keep reading exceeding, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Abundant, exceeding, divine, power. We keep reading this. Hey, y'all know we read through this like it's just a soothing novel. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. You just read this like it's just some, you know.
You don't even sound like the same.
Hey, what'd you say, nigga? Yeah. Now look, you see, if you read that like it just was, you know, some little screenplay or whatever, some, you know, you don't even get the same effect out of that. If I just read that, like the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints.
Boy, all you can do is just that fake nod like you understand.
You ain't getting no meat out of that.
Don't understand
None.
at all.
No meat, understanding, no enlightening, none of that came out of that. But when you read it how it's supposed to be read, you get the understanding.
That's right.
You feel me? Start lighting a fire in that spirit. That's what we need. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 19 again.
Yeah.
And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe?
Yeah.
According to the working of his mighty power.
Mighty power. Come on.
Which he wrought in Christ.
Yeah.
When he raised him from the dead and set him at his own right hand in the heavenly places.
Right.
Far above all principality and power.
Come on.
And might and dominion.
Come on.
And every name that is named, not only in this world, but also in that which is to come.
His son answered the divine invitation. His son took heed to that calling, right? And we shall partake too if we follow in his footsteps.
That's right. Ooh, that's beautiful.
But notice that was all power. You feel me? Raise him from the dead. You got that coming. To escape the corruption of this flesh. You got that coming. You see? But we don't get it if we just, you know, playing with our thumbs and circling the drain like some folk do when they get into this knowledge. This knowledge and this truth can bring you an exceeding great precious promise. That's what we've been reading. Abundant promise.
Yeah.
Exceeding power. Mighty. Even eternal life resurrected from the dead. You see? So we not to, sugarfoot with this. Take this thing serious, man.
That's right.
Nee, what's up, Hebrew?
You want to hit the Hebrews 5, 8 through 10?
Yeah, we can hit that. That ain't no problem.
Write it down real quick.
We can definitely hit
5, 8 through 10, kind of miss, like you said, the son answered the invitation.
that. That's right. We'll get that next, right after we finish this.
And y'all, see, nothing what bro is saying is uncommon to man. These things happen to you a lot of times in your sleep for practice. It's like when you have that demon riding you, so to speak, or you struggling to wake up. If you give up, you may not wake up, but you have to keep going till finally you sit up. And you be like, whoa, I came up out of it. Yeah. So in like manner, we have to fight consciously to come up out of that, because these strongholds of our lust is weighing us down. Y'all keep pushing down on our chest so we can't resurrect. It's heavy on you. It's burden on you. Right. Until you sit up and you like, ooh, and you breathe much better, y'all. But we just gotta have that focus and want to sit up like that when your name is called. Come out of that grave. Right. Right. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Let's get her done, Hebrew.
Verse 22.
Yes, sir.
And hath put all things under his feet, and gave him to be the head over all the things to the church, which is his body.
That's right.
The fullness of him that filleth all in all.
So the church is the body of believers, not a building.
That's right.
Body of believers. Come on, Hebrew.
That's it.
That's it for that Hebrews 5. Need just called it. That's an excellent script, Hebrew. Hebrews 5, we're going to start at verse 1. We're going to read 1 through 10 on that one. Hebrews 5, 1 through 10. The high priest. Excellent scripture, excellent precept, my brother. Yeah.
He couldn't change.
Yeah.
He said it was in the garden. He said this stuff he moved me. He couldn't change the whole. He said, no, it's not.
Let your will be done. That's the mindset we gotta be in that one too.
That's right.
As well. You be going through, your woes in life. He said, well look, even though this heat is turning up on me, let your will be done. Right? I'm in the trenches till he called me out of here. That's the mindset you gotta have, man. Because in the end, think about it, there's exceeding precious promises waiting on us. So whatever you gotta get through, whatever storm you gotta weather, wouldn't it be worth it? Yeah. It's worth weathering whatever storm to get the exceeding great and precious promise. That's worth it. You understand? No matter what you go through. The brother Shaul, Paul said that in Romans the 8th chapter. He said, man, I'm fully persuaded. Not life, not death, not things present, not things to come, no principality, no angel. Nothing will separate me from the love.
That's right.
That's in the Messiah. The love of God which is in the Messiah. That need to be our mindset. That need to be your mindset. We got examples of those that got weak in the faith or weak in the flesh for a reason, so you can learn from that.
That's right.
That's what it's in here for. Whatever was written aforetime was written for our learning and our instruction. So you got it where Peter got weak in the flesh real quick. Like, dang, let me stop all that fat mouth. You feel me? You learn that within yourself. And let me stop fat mouthing like, I'm gonna kill all them Romans if they show up, Lord. Yeah, all right. I hear you talking. Sound good, but real quick, you feel me? So you learn, that's the whole thing with scripture. You can learn the mindset of your brothers and sisters. That's psychology, the study of the mind. You can learn the mindset of your brothers and sisters and how to dodge their pitfalls. Like, hold on, let me not go that path. Well, let me not say that. Because now I'll mess around and get tested on that real quick. You see what I'm saying? We learn. That's what the scriptures is there for. Reproof, correction, instruction in righteousness. Learn from it. All right, we're in the book of Hebrews chapter 5. Let's start at verse 1.
The book of Hebrews.
Yeah.
Chapter 5, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in things pertaining to Yah, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sin.
That he may do what?
Offer both gifts and sacrifices for sin.
Now you know what a high priest is for. A high priest is to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins, taken from among men pertaining to men. That's his job. Even if you deal with a high priest of some pagan, demonic sect, they still a high priest of their sect, and they supposed to be hollering at their God, offering sacrifices and gifts for something. That's the role of a high priest. All right, let's read, Hebrew.
Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out of the way, for that he himself also is compassed with infirmity.
Yep, all these high priests, even ours in the nation, Aaron, he had infirmities. His sons after. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And by reason hereof he ought, as for the people, so also for himself, to offer for sin.
No doubt.
And no man taketh this honor unto himself, but he that is called of Yah.
He that is who?
Is called of Yah, as was Aaron.
Now trip off that. We talking about the divine invitation or the calling. Aaron was called by the Most High. You get into Leviticus, the book of Leviticus, the Hebrew name for that is Wayikra, which means and he called. Leviticus, and he called. The Most High called Aaron to be in that position, to be that priest, to offer sins and sacrifices, gifts for sins. All right, come on, Hebrew.
So also Hamashiach glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that said unto him, Thou art my son, today have I begotten thee.
Trip off that. Now you got men today claiming they high priests and chief priests.
That's right.
Putting the title on themselves. They not called to be, you know what I'm saying, a high priest or a chief priest. They're actually naming themselves chief priests, a high priest, because of a dream or something.
That's right.
You understand? They not called by the Most High to do such things, though. It's just what it is. Nee, you got something?
Yeah, you know, I think it's important for me to understand that Christ needs to glorify him.
Yeah.
Because see, when you realize that the role that we make of verse 1 of the high priest is to take on gifts and sacrifices for sin, Christ knew what he had to do to make this mission fall all in. That was already there.
Yeah.
That man had full knowledge on how he had to go.
Yeah.
To make man right with God.
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and make that man work out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he did. He followed his father's will.
Yeah. Follow the order.
He knew. Yep, I'm going to that day. My father called.
Y'all, that was the gas chamber of that day.
Straight up.
Crucifixion.
Just like Elyon.
Look, when y'all hear somebody, oh, he got the death penalty. When you hear that, y'all, we know one day they're going to be called to that table, they're going to be laid, stretched out, and they're going to get their last meal. So y'all, in like manner, what he took on was what you commonly would look at the world as the death penalty. Not only that, but scourging and beaten half to death before he got to the execution chamber. So you have bled out, and then you go to the totality of it. The most crucial part of it, suffocating in your own blood.
Answer the call though, right?
Yes, sir.
And then this is what you learn from that you have to take yourself out of the situation. We talking about the calling of the Most High. So personal feelings don't matter. You got to answer the call, right? And in the end, there's a divine promise attached to it. There's a call, there's a promise, and you keep the charge based on your faith, your level of faith, and what he just called you and promised you, right? He promised the Messiah. He even promised Israel what it's going to be. But you got to answer the call, and you got to do what? Make that calling and election sure. And the only way you can do this is if you believe and have that full faith, and then add to your faith all these attributes that we've been reading about. All right, you got to add that to that. That way you can be what? Fruitful, and then an abundant entrance will be administered to you into the kingdom. All right, then you had something else?
I was just sitting there thinking about one of the movies. I don't care too much. I remember they had that one scene where Christ was laying on the snake when he died and built a big twisted table.
Right. Passion of Christ.
That's deep.
Yeah. But look, he was selfless. He took himself about of it. You understand? My feelings ain't got nothing to do with the divine calling of the Lord. It got to get done. So we got to take on the same mindset. The scripture tell you, put on the mind of Christ, put on the mind of the Messiah.
Yeah, and just even that 2 Peter you was reading when it was giving you the program. You got this first step, then you go to this next step, and then you get to brotherly love and brotherly kindness, because you have to get to the point that where you'll give your life for your brother righteously. And then the next step is this. After that, after you learn that, then you go to this next step. You can't go opposite of that order. You just can't show up at the end of that order as some high priest that you decided to name yourself. You the leapfrog all of this.
It's great.
You just graduated from kindergarten, and all of a sudden you magna cum laude.
It's like what Molly was saying.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Like you were saying, it was like they have a dream and they wake up self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
It's like you weren't even that yesterday. How's you that?
Right,
It ain't been 24 hours.
It ain't been 24 hours.
But you a chief priest.
Right.
Name longer than natural breeds. Let's get into it, Hebrew. Let's get into it.
Back in the book of Hebrews,
Yeah.
chapter 5, verse 6. As he saith also in another place, thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek.
Beautiful. Come on.
Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared.
Yeah.
Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him.
Beautiful.
Called of Yah and high priest after the order of Melchizedek.
All right, let's drop that. Let's get into Genesis, the 12th chapter. Let's get into our forefather, our patriarch, Abraham.
Maccabee.
Yes, sir.
One of these short letters we got here with Yahawah.
Short-legged class. Uncle Yak Ellie, raise your hand, brother. Okay, don't nobody know the brother right there.
You got rotation on the door out there? You got rotation on the door? Okay. All right.
If y'all got short-leggers, y'all, you know, want to go learn a little biblical Hebrew. And anybody that's what? You got 15 or younger? You say 15 or younger? All right, you 15 or younger, y'all go ahead and handle your business. Short-leggers, y'all don't be sneaking out of class. Y'all handle y'all business. All right, let's get her done, bro. We're going to go to Genesis, the 12th chapter.
Genesis 12.
Genesis chapter 12. And the name of the Torah portion for Genesis chapter 12 through Genesis chapter 17 is about the first part of Abraham's life. It's called Lach Lakah, which means you go, or go. The Most High gave Abraham a commandment to leave.
That's right.
You understand? And so what we doing, when you get into like the non-Messianics, they'll just teach certain parts of the Torah or whatever, but they don't connect, like we could bring in the New Testament into it, and the prophets, we do all that. They show it's all one book, you understand? So they'll just read certain parts of this, but won't read the whole entire thing.
Right.
And with the calling of the Most High is in the Old and New Testament. It's all throughout the scriptures. You understand? So you run into that, they'll say Parashats Lach Lakah. When you talking about Genesis chapter 12 through Genesis chapter 17, you know. But that's what we about to get into right here, the earlier part of Abraham's life, and show the divine invitation with him and what was promised to him and how he acted on full faith. And then ask yourself, do I have that same mindset?
Right.
Would I be willing to do what he did? You understand? Because what if the the torch was on you? It was time to make of you a great nation. You see? What if it was on you and it was like, look, man, you old, you 75 years old, you ain't got one child. Most High said, man, count them stars, man. You gonna have more seeds than the number of the stars. You 75 years old, 80 years old and had one child. When you doubt, you be like, oh, come on, Lord, stop this now. What do you mean? A child at 80? A child at 100? What do you mean? Right? My woman that went through menopause, she barren. You see? But let you know ain't nothing impossible with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be called Abraham, or Abraham to be called his friend, Abraham had to be tested and proved. Not today you just let anybody into your house or into your heart. Don't you just let anybody in. Nobody gets tested or proved.
Anybody can be a deacon.
Yeah. Anybody can be whatever. Somebody can just tell you, I love you, boo-boo, woo-woo, and your guard's down. Or anybody can tell you, bro, like, yeah, bro, I got your back. Ain't no type of test went down. Ain't no type of nothing went down. That ain't how Abraham and the Most High tested Abraham. Before he even was called his friend. He had to get tested. You see? Why we don't do the same thing? We don't. You feel me? And wonder why, you know, hearts be broken, relationships dissolve the way they do. You understand? Friendships don't be what they was. There's no trying of one spirit going on. It ain't. You just like what you see for the moment, and it is what it is. I was getting to the Genesis 12th chapter, the call of Abram. Let's read, Hebrew.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1.
Yeah.
Now the Lord had said unto Abraham, Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee.
Not about this. Most High call, you can't stipulate to him what he's saying to you. Like, you don't negotiate terms with him.
Right.
Right? He called him and said, hey, it's just like somebody hit that smartphone today. Pick up, hey, you gotta leave your house, you gotta leave your country, and your family. Leave that. Right? And I was like, hey, Dave, move to Yemen. Sound crazy, don't it? Sound very crazy. Don't move in the middle of a country. You know, they call you today a foreign invader or an illegal alien. You get called that today. Let you pop up in Yemen somewhere talking about the Lord sent you here to live and to, you know, eventually, you know, all this is mine anyway. Just to let y'all know. Go tell the king of Saudi Arabia, say, hey, look, check this out. The Most High told me to come live right here. And this, whatever you king over, all that's gonna be mine eventually.
Right.
You'll be stripped and hung. Or head cut off. So this ain't nothing, this ain't like, you know, Abraham had a passport. This ain't like he was visiting an allied country, like he was going to Spain or France or Canada. No, he was moving in the middle of hostile territory. He left everything he knew, family, land, house, packed up and moved into a foreign spot.
And y'all, not to cut you off, y'all think about this. You got these false camps out here, Benjamin Carter and Elyon Mitchell, where they were sending individuals, just say your mission is to go to New York. No money, no food, no nothing. You just go there, brother, say, I don't know what they're doing. But when they leave, whatever household they left behind ain't gonna be the same when they come back. And it's usually because they done commandeered their woman, you know, and their children. So when they get back, ain't nothing there, but they're trying to use this same process. And if they get a man to go and he's a fleshly man like yourself, a sinner like yourself, it's going to the next level at that point. Yeah. And y'all see many individuals that said we were sent on a mission, and when we came back, somebody else had moved in my position. The Most High don't play games like that. Yeah. There's always a reward at the end of that. That's Every one of these men in these false camps come back, and now they're testifying, the only reward I got was foolishness.
Yeah.
Because they basically talked me into leaving my family, and then they took over. And the first thing was, though, because I believed that they were the Father in heaven.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, but y'all, it's happening every day, and they're taking these scriptures like this and twisting them and making you think you're supposed to go on this same type journey.
Exactly.
They're giving these orders.
Look, and there ain't no promises coming with it.
No.
Most High promised Abraham, like, look, leave here, do this, and this is why I'm telling you to do this. There's a promise behind it. It's the creator of all heaven and earth, owner, possessor of all things, telling you, look, do this, do that, and look, this is the promise that comes behind it. right? Abraham look, I believe that. I'm out of it. Let's rock, right? They just telling you it's a fear tactic. You know, America, the bank's gonna be closed by the end of 2017, right? If you ain't got all your money converted over to Bitcoin, you know you ain't gonna have no type of financial resources. You better get out of here. Damn, I'm gonna get out of here by doing what? You got a passport? Abraham ain't need no passports and none of that. You understand? The Most High gave him an order, gave him a promise, and in faith he acted on that charge. That's the difference. That's what Daniel was breaking down. They just tell you to leave. And then when you get there, you giving them money.
Right.
Feel me? You got to break them off like 12 grand. Break them off like, oh, you got to come with 12 grand and 50% of that goes to the church. That ain't what is going on and what we're reading. So again, don't get swindled by the Hebrew hustlers, because a lot of Hebrew hustlers as well out here.
Every Sunday you talk about get his name. About Hebrew hustlers. They tell you to leave, go to another state, and before you know it, your family's gone, like somebody else's family.
Yeah, right. Utter madness.
Every Sunday you call.
Yeah. All right, look, let's read on down to verse 4, and then we're going to show what Abraham's faith was about. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 2.
Yeah.
And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
See the promise? The call went out. Here's the promise. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
You see that? The Lord, he only not promised them. He told them, like, look, I'm going to be an enemy to your enemies. And I'm going to be a friend to your friends. Those that bless you, I'll bless. Those that are against you, I'm going to put down. See? But he would need that supernatural force with him. He's moving in the middle of hostile territory, a foreign country. You understand?
That's right.
So of course he's gonna need some type of power backing him. You moving over to Egypt, what power you got backing you? Right now. There's no type of power backing you at all. There's no promise that went out to you. Nah, you left on a fear tactic. Abraham ain't leave off fear. He ain't leave off fear. He left based off a promise. Most High gave him a command and promised it to him. He said, yeah, I'm out of here. And if you get into the book of Joshua, this story is the beginning of the end of a story in Joshua. Abraham was just thrown into a fiery furnace. His father snitched on him. His own father. Abraham destroyed his daddy gods. He destroyed a whole closet full of his daddy gods. He slid up on his old dude one day and asked him, he say, hey, who's the creator of heaven and earth? His daddy said, what, you ain't know? He like, nah. He was like, well, come here, let me show you. And he took him to his closet and showed him a whole closet full of statues. He said, these are the gods that created heaven and earth. And Abraham like, oh, really? Okay. So when daddy left him there, he's like, oh, okay, well, watch this. Abraham destroyed all the gods in the closet. He took a hatchet, chopped them all to pieces. Was swinging violently, right? Yeah. His daddy overheard it. By the time his daddy got back to the closet, all the gods was destroyed except one. So Abraham had took the hatchet that he destroyed them gods with and put it in the hand of one God that was still standing. So daddy came in there and say, what you done did? You done destroyed all my gods. What are you doing? Abraham said, I didn't do it, he did it.
Wasn't me.
He did it right there.
Wasn't me.
And his daddy in his anger said, boy, why you lying to me? He can't see, he can't move, he can't speak. Hell, I carved him up and made him. And Abraham said, then why are we worshiping them then? Right. You feel me? But that was a capital offense then. That would get you killed. You understand? So his daddy went and snitched to the king and said, hey, I got a son that just killed all my gods. You understand? And his brother Haran, Lot daddy. Yeah. They both got thrown into a fiery furnace. Before Shadrach and them, they all got thrown to a fiery furnace. His brother Haran was half cocked in spirit. He was half-hearted. He was like, well, look, if Abraham is right, I'm with him. If my daddy's right, I'm with him. He burned up. Abraham was in so much full faith that he walked around that fire for 3 days. Not a hurt on his body singed. You understand? And then right after that, the Most High called him about it. Since you love me like that, get on the body. I got to show you something.
That's right.
So this Genesis 12 picks up at the end of the story in the book of Joshua. Y'all need to read that. It's a beautiful story.
What chapter?
I don't know the chapter.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9.
All the way through, like when you get into 9, like the 10th verse through the 19th verse, the Messiah give Abraham a test of his ordinances, you know, just to let him see how they move. And that's a good understanding on that. Then you get into, you know, where he challenged his dad, you know, but all of that starts from chapter 9 on, 8 on, really.
Yeah, y'all read that and you'll see how Abraham was contemplating. Because look, he was supposed to have been killed as a child. When he was born, Abraham was supposed to have been killed. Because when he was born, the heavens lined up like when the Messiah was born. So the wise men told the king, they say, well, look, tonight, the son that's born to Terah, that's Abraham's father, the son that's born to Terah, eventually going to produce a son that's going to destroy your whole kingdom. Speaking about the birth of Christ, the Messiah. So he was like, look, kill him then. Right. So his daddy switched out babies. His daddy took another child and had him killed. Abraham and his mama went and lived with Shem for like 39 years or whatever. Like 39, 40 plus years. So he showed back up at his old dude house at the age of 50. And asked him, like, who's the God that created heaven and earth? You know what I'm saying? And his daddy took him to the closet. He destroyed them gods. He told his daddy, I ain't do it, he did it. So then his daddy snitched on him. So then when he was brought before the judge or the king, the wise men saw him and was like, that's that boy that was born 50 years ago.
That's right.
He supposed to have been dead. So then the king get mad at his daddy. His daddy said, well, my oldest son made me do it. So his oldest son name was Haran. That was Lot daddy. You ever wonder why Lot was with Abraham? Because his daddy ended up getting burned up in that furnace, you understand? So both of them get thrown into a furnace and their father snitched on him for, you know, for him destroying his gods or whatever. His brother burns up. Abraham walked around for 3 days, got delivered up out of there, and the Most High in Genesis 12 said, get up out of there. I'm going to make of you a great nation. All those that bless you, I'll bless. All those that curse you, I'm going to put down. So y'all read that story when y'all get a chance. That's excellent right. Story.
That's great. They tell you don't read out the book of Joshua.
Yeah.
See how all they just put that together?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, okay, where's Lot daddy at?
Yeah.
Now we see.
Yeah, he got burned up because he was half-hearted and he didn't have no faith.
And the king was their cousin.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. All right, verse 5.
You just said, and that's Joshua chapter 11 on Abraham destroying his father's God. So y'all read 8 through 11 and y'all get all of that.
All right, let's get this Hebrew. Yeah, now go down to 5 and then we gotta hit this Hebrew and show Abraham faith and then we come right back. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 4.
Yeah.
So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
Yeah, so they went from Chaldea to Haran. He stayed there for 25 years. He left Haran and went to the land of Canaan. All right, they named that spot after his brother who had burned up, Haran. Real talk. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substances that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan.
Yeah.
And unto the land of Canaan they came.
All right, drop that. Hold your spot there. We got to come right back. I'm going to show y'all Abraham's faith. Hebrews 11, 8 through 10. Hebrews 11, 8 through 10 on the faith of Abraham when he answered this divine invitation, this call right here. Hebrews 11, 8 through 10. All right. The Most High gave a call, gave a promise, and so Abraham departed. Abraham acted on that charge because he had full faith. All right, we're going to Hebrews 11, 8 through 10 next. And just so you can understand while we read through this story, the faith and belief Abraham had, the Most High called him out of his everything he was familiar with. His own land, his country, his father's house, his kindred, told him leave all that. Leave Big Mama, all them. You understand? Leave your cousins, you know what I'm saying? You grew up with them co-brilliant, all that.
All that.
Leave all that and come on, I got something to show you. That's major right there. So when it come down to your own personal life, when it come down to answering the call of the Most High, you feel me? You come with a promise. You understand? And look, it took all this. Had not Abraham did what he did, you wouldn't even be called no Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Say he never answered the call. Say he never had the faith to leave. You see, there wouldn't even be no Hebrew Israelites out there. None. He called the Hebrew because of his action. Not because the language he spoke, it was the action.
That's right.
When it says Abraham, when we get to that next verse of Genesis, it's going to say Abraham passed through the land of Canaan. The word there is Hebrew. When you read it in the actual Hebrew, abar. That means Hebrew, to pass through. That means you are Hebrew based off what you're doing. Not based off you bragging because you know you descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. And the script is about what you do, not what you name. What you do is more important than who you are. It's just the truth. All right, come on, Hebrew. What you got?
So it makes sense then when Christ told his fellow Israelites, the children of your father death.
Yeah.
Even though you're born of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
Who's going to build your members?
Yeah. Exactly.
You want to be transgressed.
Yeah.
You no longer a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
You are the rule.
Yeah. Exactly. Hebrew comes from the verb. It's a verb. It comes from a bar. Verb means action. When the Most High told the Israelites, I'm going to pass through Egypt tonight, and I'm going to kill all them gods of Egypt. And he said pass through. The word is abar. That's the root word for Hebrew. It's action. You feel me? You got this truth and this knowledge, and you put it into action. You don't sit on it. When you're not a Hebrew if you're sitting on it. It's action. You see what I'm saying? You got some Hebrew? Yeah, abar. Ayan bet resh. A-B-A-R. Yeah, abar. Ayan bet resh. Abar. That's a verb. It's all throughout the scripture. Whenever you see somebody saying, I'm passing through, or I'm coming through. Somebody say, what's up with you, man? I'm just passing through. I'm Hebrew. I'm Hebrew. I'm just passing through. This y'all world. I'm just passing through. Right? That's what Abraham did. All right, now let's show the faith of Abraham when he got that call. Hebrews 11, let's read 8 through 10. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, 8 through 10. Who got it?
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8.
Hold y'all spot, because we're coming right back to Genesis 12. I just want to show y'all his faith and belief while he was answering the call of the Most High. All right, come on, Hebrew.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called.
When he was what?
When he was called.
Yeah, come on.
To go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whether he went.
He didn't know where he was going. You see that? Yeah. He got the call, he obeyed, and he put it into action.
That's right.
He didn't know where he was going. He just went out of here. Come on, Hebrew.
By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, and in a strange country.
As in a strange
country. Dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
You see, dwelling in tents, tabernacles. He wasn't in no palace or nothing like that. He's a foreigner in a strange land, in the land that was promised to him by the Most High.
That's right.
With his son and his son's sons. Come on, Hebrew.
For he looked for a city which has foundations, whose builder and maker was Yahawah.
You see how his spirit while he was there? I'm looking for the city that God built.
That's right.
I'm in this strange land with my son and my son's sons, looking for the city that the Most High built. You come on now, who got faith like that? You did, given an order, promised it, and then acted on it. All right, now let's go back to Genesis 12. You see Abraham's mindset. I'm looking for the city God built.
That's right. And like you said, going through pearls, you know, it's different. It's Jack artists out there. He with his family, y'all. The closest thing we probably see is, if y'all remember the movie that Denzel did, The Book of Eli.
Yeah, there you go.
Very similar to that. He had a mission where he had to do to get all the way through to where they recorded the scriptures over again. In full spirit and power to recite it all back from memory. I'm talking about 66 books, y'all. in full power of the Spirit. And you can see they had him in white while he was doing it. So y'all, it ain't no secret out here. We see it every day, but sometimes we just may pass things off as TV. But the Most High said, I fixed it where there will be no excuses on that day. If you got caught up in the TV, then he said, I'm going to make sure it's in TV for you to see. Because Satan wants you to have that.
Hebrews, you look up the word faith, right? G4102.
Amana.
And then second in B, right, says rest in Christ. A strong and welcome to
Yeah.
Then Yahshua is the Mashiach.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk, bro. So we see the mindset Abraham was in when he was called out.
Yes, sir.
Full faith in a strange country, and he was looking for the city that God built because the Most High promised him a kingdom. All right, let's go back to Genesis 12. We in verse 6.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 6. And Abram passed through the land into the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land.
See, the natives to that land was still there.
That's right.
It's still called the land of Canaan to this very day. All right, verse 7, Hebrew.
And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Most High, who appeared unto him.
Yeah, so you see he builds an altar. The Most High pops back up, appears to him, and gives him a promise. This the land I promised to you. I'm going to give this land to you and your seed after you. So Abraham builds an altar, so he's in full priest mode at this point. Priest builds altars.
That's right.
That's who builds an altar. Priest didn't just take a few pebbles and stones and just threw them up and say this is an altar. He had instruction on how to properly build the Most High's altar.
That's right.
Before Moses was even born. So it's showing you that the laws of the Most High was already in the earth. The priesthood was operating in the earth as well. The Melchizedek priesthood was already operating in the earth before Moses was even born. Before we even got our commission on Mount Sinai. Now, when you get into the book of Joshua with Abraham, you'll see he was raised by Noah's son Shem.
Yeah.
For 50 years, Shem taught him all the ways and instructions of the Most High, which he got from his father Noah, who Noah got from his father all the way on back to Adam. You feel me? So what you're dealing with at this point is oral Torah, oral law before it was the written Torah, or the written law. That's been in the earth. You understand? It's been in the earth, and it was operated in full faith, and it was kept by that divine line. You know what I'm saying? Adam, his son right after him. Yeah. We ain't talking about Cain and Abel, but Seth, you feel me? Which means to appoint. And on down, Enoch and them, that strict line, they had the ways and instructions of the Most High.
That's right.
And we see Abraham has knowledge on how to properly build an altar to the Most High. And the altars where priests show up to offer sacrifices, to offer gifts to the Most High, thanking him. The Most High appeared to him and he builds an altar in Shechem. All right, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, man, and that's a point also for him. Anybody said he was a false prophet. That altar spot and location, you go right back to it. He said, this is where he appeared to be at.
Yeah.
So if anybody was in there and said, no, I was here all night, ain't nobody show up here, the Most High always leaves his mark, so to speak, so that we're not, he don't tempt us with evil. So he would never put him in a false prophet position. We are told to write things down, or you mark it where you visitation came from. Yeah. Just like Jacob did when he made a pillar there where he wrestled with the angel all night.
No doubt.
And it was called Bethel. So y'all, that's a constant pattern. Even Peter, James, and John, when they were called up to the Mount of Transfiguration, they asked, should we build pillars right here? Should we build 3 for what we just seen? And the Father just said, just hear him out.
Yeah.
Hear him out.
That's my son, hear ye him.
Right.
No doubt. And then just to drop a jewel on y'all, whenever you dealing with the scriptures, and this is what the heathen do when they make movies. Like every major movie producer that's successful in Hollywood, they use the Bible.
That's right.
They have to have some knowledge of the Bible. And they do this thing, they call it extrapolating. That means they look into a story and they pull out of the story as much as they can so they can properly paint a picture for you, the viewer, right? Now, one way to do this is look up the names of the people and the names of the places that you're dealing with in the scriptures. You understand? Everything has a name. It was translated from Hebrew, so everything has a meaning to it. Every name, like what does Abram mean? Who knows? Not Abraham, but Abram.
Father.
Part of it got to do with father, but what about the father? That's Abraham, father of many names. That was his name was changed to, but what does Abram mean? It means exalted father. You was right, X, you was right, but you feel me? It means exalted father. You feel me? Shechem. Now Shechem was actually the name of a prince in Canaan that had his way with our sister Dinah, right? But that's also the name of a place. Like that place means something in Hebrew, all right? So you see Abraham comes through Shechem, he builds an altar. Most High appeared to him, he promised him something. Shechem makes it in Hebrew actually means your shoulders. Your shoulders, all right? So what's
Straighten them out, man. Straighten them out. Hey, go get in. Go get in.
Go get him.
Anyway, go get him, man. Go get him.
Y'all want me to go yank me somebody? Go get this. Who y'all talking about?
Yeah. He out of there, man. Come on, man. He got, where he come from?
He was sitting over here.
No, I'm saying where he come from, though. How did he get back? How did he get through the door?
He was sitting there. He been sitting there for a while.
Oh, he's trying to come back out. Okay.
Young Gunner back here. Young Gunner back here looking like
digging in regions. I'm like, wait a minute, he's going through the wrong door.
You say digging.
Digging down. I'm like, hey, that's gonna be trouble if it's up there.
Y'all crazy, man. That was some good eye though. Yeah, that good eye. I ain't even see him. How long he been sitting up in there?
He been there for a minute. Yeah, y'all can now walk him in.
Y'all crazy up in there. Anyway, look, back to it though. Back to it. So whenever y'all, just to get deeper into any of the stories you read, always look up the name of the people. Look up the name of the people, look up the name of the places. Get the definitions of them. And then you'll get even deeper understandings over the stories that you read. Because the scripture just ain't literal, it apply to your mentals and all that too. Remember the scripture that say, we are the temple of the Most High, or your body's the temple. All right, now trip off this. Abraham, the exalted father, builds an altar in Shechem. Shechem means shoulders in Hebrew, actually means your shoulders. Now what's built on the top of your shoulders that ought to be dedicated to the Most High? This right here. Yeah, your temple, your mentals. You understand? So you can even get a spiritual connotation or connection out of this story. The altar that's on your shoulders, on your Shechem, where the Most High appears to you or raps with you is your mind, your head. You understand? All right, so let's keep reading. You always look that up. You get deep into like, dang, all right, that mean that too. So it ain't just a physical story, it's spiritual meanings attached to all of it. All right, let's keep reading, bro.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east side of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hayat on the east.
All right, now trip off this. You know what Bethel means? Bethel. Go ahead. House of God.
Yes, sir.
Who knows what high means? Nehemiah, I know you know. Nah, you don't know now. High means a ruinous heap. A ruinous heap. So Abraham, the exalted father, builds another altar in between Bethel, the house of God, and a spot called the ruinous heap. He builds an altar in between these spots. Remember, he's looking for the house of God, a city that God built himself. You understand? So even though the Most High give you a promise, even though he called you out on your journey from utter destruction to the house of God, you feel me? He's still building altars, dedicating his path, his journey to the Most High, where the Most High appears to him. Bethel means the house of God. High means a ruinous heap. Abraham builds an altar in between.
Yes, sir.
He ain't reached his journey to where it's finally the kingdom. You feel me? He didn't left total destruction dealing with his people. And that's, you can look at that with your own life. You feel me? Once you find out the truth, you leave all that behind You understand? And even though you ain't reached your destination yet, he's still dedicated. He's still marking the spot to where the Most High appeared to him.
That's right.
All right, let's read, Hebrew.
And there he built an altar unto the Most High, and called upon the name of the Most High.
Yeah.
And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south.
Come on.
And there was a famine in the land.
Uh-oh.
And Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land.
Now trip off that. Like he promised this land. He's looking for the city that God built. He had all the faith, and he get there, and there's a famine there. So it ain't no food. So his tribe that he rolling with, because it ain't just him and his wife. Everybody he done got with him when he left Haran. We get in the later chapters, you see he was over 300 something folk with him. Abraham was riding with a tribe of over 300 men, women, and children. Right? But he got to feed them though, don't he? He get into this land of promise, and it ain't no food, it's a famine. It's a famine in the land. So he on the brink of mutiny.
Sound like the wilderness, don't it?
Yeah, yeah. Just like the wilderness. He on the brink of mutiny at this point. You got all these folks with you, and you can't feed them. They left on account of you. You said the Lord was with you. You see? So even though the Most High promised it to you, even though it's time for you to go and you got full faith, why do you have in your mind that you're not going to go through nothing? What makes you think everything is going to be smooth sailing?
That's right.
It's always going to be something. It's always going to be something. And think about that in your life. Think about that. You know, you may plan something. Now you got every nick and cranny planned out. You know, I got all my I's dotted, my T's crossed. But don't something always happen? Something always happen. I'm talking about the unforeseen things that you even thought you planned for. Something to happen. You be like, hey, right? You can either get mad and give up, or you can what? Adjust on the fly.
That's right.
Just because something happened don't mean you ain't supposed to be doing what you're doing. Don't mean the Most High ain't promised you that. It's just a test. You got to get through it. We do ourselves an injustice thinking this thing gonna be smooth all the time. It's seldom smooth. Think about it. We ain't in the kingdom yet. We're not in paradise.
Right.
What makes you think that your calling and your call to action is gonna be smooth? What makes you think that? We do ourselves an injustice when we think that. You should be going to any situation knowing I know something gonna happen. I know something gonna happen. That way you don't be all hurt when something go wrong. Ready to give up. All right, let's read, Hebrew.
And it came to pass.
Dave been watching the video. Yeah. Hallelujah. Come on.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said to Sarah, his wife, behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
He's like, look, yeah, you fine as wine.
That's right.
I know you bad. You all right? So that means certain looks was going down. You ever been out with your girl or whatever? You know, she, ain't bad on the eye. And you know, certain men may be looking. Abraham like, look, woman, you fine as that deal. Right? We about to go into another hostile territory. Let's read.
Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive.
See, showing you adultery is universal. Right. You feel me? They like, well, look, if that's his wife, I can't take her while he breathing.
That's right.
But I can put him down and take her. Huh? See, adultery is universal.
That's right.
The Egyptians knew about adultery, but they was willing to go as well. Hey, if that's your wife, partner, if you're breathing, I can't take her, but we can remedy that situation. Lay you on down.
Right, and that's a good point, y'all, for us to understand that by him saying marriage is universal, wherever you get married at and you make this covenant, I don't care what land it's in or whatever it is, those lands recognize universal marriage. Egyptians already knew it. They run in the world, but they understand the process of it. And wherever it took place, and if he married her in Egypt, they know what the deal is. It's universal. It's like mathematics. It's universal. I don't care what land you go over, these equations, any part of these four corners, they're going to always be the same equation. when you summon up the total.
All right, where we at? Verse 13? Yeah.
Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee.
Wow. See that? Trip off that. Abraham like, look, man, I might get killed on account of your beauty.
Right.
Huh? He was a man. You understand? Most High was with him and all that. That shows you. That shows you. You'll be tried and tested real quick.
Real quick.
Real quick. Now, some people stop right there and just call our forefather a cow.
Yeah.
Cow.
Or a liar.
Yeah, or a liar or whatever. But it's always important to keep reading the story because the Most High got something in store. You understand? Most High got something in store that if you're looking at it from a carnal mindset, you can't even peep what's going on. Right. All right, so look, let's keep reading.
And it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair.
Right.
The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house.
Wow, they came and snatched her on up. You see that? That's the ancient world. Like,
that's right.
You know, woman finds you come around a man with some authority or whatever. Questions get asked. Who is that? Go take her. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, it's the ancient world. You feel me? Like, that's why women had to be guarded.
That's right.
Dealing with our sister Dinah and all that back then. You feel me? Like, at that point, she wasn't guarded. Like, our women had to be guarded under safekeeping, all that. Because it wasn't no women just walking around no yoga pants,
right,
skipping through Egypt or, you know, the land of Canaan. No. That ain't what it is. Our women had to be safekeeping, guarded, put on up for protection.
That's right.
Because somebody will send and take you. Alright? You got something up? Yeah, that's Jacob's daughter.
I know that.
Yeah, that's Jacob's daughter. He had took her, like raped her.
Right.
But then was trying to make it right. He tried to make it right, but you know, that's a whole other story and topic. That's a whole other story and topic. Go ahead, bro.
Just real quick, so you know, in the ancient world, they took wives they wanted. So also we read about just to bring it in our situation is that even though Shechemite harmed her, we also have an understanding, okay, it's still his touch. You know, that's where she got to be. So he's letting me fulfill my thing, got this circumcised and I still stand. But we didn't try to take her out of it. You know, at least dad did. You get what I'm saying? You understood what it was, even though it was taken away, it was taken.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He still knew that was now his protection.
Yeah.
But at least honor me with the customs of my ancestors. At least be circumcised and be sent up to him.
Yeah. That's why Jacob was trying to remedy the situation.
Yeah, right.
But Jacob had two sons that was like, yeah, all right. Simeon and Levi was like, we laying all y'all down for that. You feel me? But and then they should have hollered at their father,
right,
and let it be known that, you know, it was a hit coming on down, because the Most High had it in for them Philistines or these Hamites anyway. Yes, but they ain't even hollered at him. They kind of let him go into it blindly. So he's just trying to remedy the situation. You understand? And then once he done put his word on it, them two brothers went through and slayed how many? About 1,000 cats.
Yeah.
Because they raped, he took their sister.
Right.
You feel me? Raped her, but tried to remedy the situation, but they laid that whole situation flat, man.
Y'all read that in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs about Levi in the 2nd and 3rd chapter. Y'all see that story played out on what happened. The angel told them, y'all, Levi and Simeon, y'all put Shechem down for what happened to this very story we read right here about them taking Sarah from Abraham. That was what the hit was originally for, and they did the same thing to Rebecca and Isaac. They moved on Rebecca. So the hit was on, but there was so many of them that they thought that Jacob would say, no, it's a lot of them, y'all, we ain't gonna be able to take them. So they said, well, we ain't gonna tell the father that the angel visited us, and then we're gonna let them, we got to weaken them down so that when we slay them, it'll go ahead and go past. But what this did is, it made it look like you put smallpox blanket on them Egyptians. They made a covenant with you like the Indians made a covenant with the white man when he came here. And that night they gave him fire, water, and smallpox blankets. So to put the covenant on them while they're circumcised, then they came in and slaved, which would make all the other nations look and say, they got a faulty God. He let you get circumcised in the covenant, then they kill you.
Yeah.
See, so that was the bad thing that happened with that, and that's why they lost the blessing, and it kept dropping down the line because they slayed a man in their anger. So they like, I don't care nothing about them scriptures at this point. I'm mad. The same situation we get, somebody asks, so bro, what you gonna do? You gonna turn the other cheek and go away? Now look, man, I see what the scripts say, but I'm mad about this. Oh, you mad about this? Oh, really? So the scriptures don't mean anything to you anymore. You're gonna take this into your own hands. And that's basically what happened, y'all. We lose the fact that vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And if you don't exact vengeance like this, the way he said to do it, you gonna lose. Just like any fight you start, you usually lose it. But if the fight come to you, you handle it.
That's right.
Check it up. And just say this again, man, on this right here, when Abraham came to the Egyptian, this also let us know that he was not exempt from bondage and punishment what we later faced in Egypt. He experienced it first, hand of what goes down in Egypt. So still Abraham is the beginning of this promise, like it's saying. You know, and he experienced Egypt. So anybody under Levi and Moses talking no, he experienced what we experienced in Egypt. Starting out the gate. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 16. And he entreated
the book of Genesis, for y'all just getting here, Genesis 12, we in verse 16.
And he entered Abram well, and he entreated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen, and he asses.
And he asses. Come on.
And manservants, and maidservants, and she asses, and camels. And the Most High plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife.
Trip off that, come on.
And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me she was thy wife? Why saidest thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to my wife, taken her to me to wife. I'm gonna say that all over.
Yes.
Why saidest thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore, behold thy wife. Take her and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him. And they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had.
Now trip off there, but verse 16 say Abraham got broke off while he was in there. He entreated Abraham well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. He ended up coming up out of that deal. You feel me? And he got his wife back. So he left Egypt paid with all type of riches.
That's right.
Men servants, maid servants, he asses, she asses. So he got cattle, he got servants with him. Right? If you get into it, you'll see this is where his one servant Eleazar, when you get to reading in the book of Joshua, you know, his servant Eleazar that he sent to find Isaac's wife, this is where he came from. This is where Hagar, his concubine, that was one of his maid servants. She came from Egypt as well. You see that? So Abraham left Egypt even though it looked like at first like, dang, he was cowering down. Feel me? He came out of Egypt actually a rich man. And with his wife. Cattle, servants, all of them. All right? So let's get into chapter 13. Let's get into chapter 13. Again, y'all, this is the divine invitation, the call of the Most High.
That's right.
And even though the Most High called Abraham out of his land, gave him a promise, told him like, look, whoever bless you, I'll bless. Whoever curse you, I'm going to curse. Abraham acted on that promise. Start building altars to the Most High in a strange land You feel me? He's a foreigner in this land, building altars to his God all over the place.
That's right.
And he get there, he with his tribe of folk, right? Now famine break out. He ain't got no food for his tribe. So he got to go down into Egypt. So it's letting you know, even though you being obedient to the call, be prepared to go through something.
That's right.
It's never going to be smooth for you. The call of the Most High is not something that's meant to be smooth for you. It's meant to try your character. You feel me? Try your spirit. Are you really down with the Most High? You just lip service. You just talking. You understand? So whenever you come to serve the Most High, even in that apocrypha, say prepare your soul for temptation.
That's right. Say right too.
Constantly endure. For gold is tried in the fire. Abraham had to go through that fire. He had to be tried. Even before he left his native land, he was tried. Right? He up in the land of promise as a stranger looking for the city God built, being tried. Famine, no food, being tried. No cattle, got to go down to Egypt. Come up with abundance, riches. Right? So what we learn from, if we examine his mindset, we examine his faith, is no matter what, don't make no excuse and finish your job and you get your blessings from the Most High.
That's right.
You understand? Don't come up with no excuse. Just do what the Most High calls you to do if you're going to answer the call.
That's right.
Had he never answered, we wouldn't be sitting right here. Wouldn't be no Hebrew Israelites. Because Abraham had to have Isaac and Jacob. Jacob's name would change to Israel. He would never been Abraham the Hebrew because he would have never passed over.
That's right.
He would never pass through the promised land because he would have never left where he was comfortable in. Had he never answered the call. You understand? So take the call of the Most High serious. That's the whole point of this topic. Take it serious, man. It's a serious thing. And even when time seems slow, or your back may be against the wall, you know, you may be financially challenged at the time or whatnot. That's, most of our excuses come because our check ain't big enough. Your check ain't big enough.
Well, what you say, more month than money?
Yeah, more month than money. Man, that's most of our excuse. It'd be the money. You understand? But it wasn't with Abraham and them. It wasn't with the faithful elect that followed the Most High. They said, look, we've been called. There's a promise coming. Let's answer the charge. And no matter what comes, we're going to be faithful to that call that we got.
That's right.
All right, you got something, Mark?
That's what I mean. You get that trying to play both sides of the field.
Yeah.
Like fly big war, or they mad you starve and they try to feed you right here. We fall for this over here.
Yeah, we do fall for
this. Little programs, really something they feed you GMO food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that with Hamilton, they call Father Bob.
Father Bob, yeah.
Oh man, it's all like,
yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah. Oh, Father Bob on Hamilton. Yeah, I'm already here. You got somebody?
Yeah, you know, Dave also made another good point again. But you know, it's just the same thing. We came out of Egypt with riches as well.
Yeah.
We came out of pride, you know, both sides.
It's a foreshadow. So we can never be like, even when we were slaves in Egypt, you feel me? And women getting took in Egypt, you understand? Same thing happened to Abraham.
Right.
Yeah, but he stayed faithful. You see, in the end, you come out on top. It's the same with us here. You understand? If we stay faithful to the end, they gonna have to break us off getting about here. It's the same thing, and it's gonna be even greater. They tell you that in Jeremiah. You ain't even gonna be bringing up the Passover no more when we get up out of here. You ain't gonna be bringing the Passover up no more.
That's right.
You're gonna be like, nah, the Lord is great that brought up all the seed of Israel out of all the lands where they were scattered. You ain't gonna bring up the first Exodus no more. Yeah, somebody else had something back there. I think, Gam, you had your hand up?
Well, I didn't know if you were already going there or not. I didn't want to get away from the actual lesson.
Go
But
ahead.
the situation with Abraham and Sarah going into a land where a king or whoever wanted his wife is happening again, didn't it?
Yeah, in chapter 20. Chapter 20.
He cleared up how she really was his sister.
Yeah.
He did lie.
Right.
He was trying to say that was a contradiction.
Yeah.
But he did lie.
Yeah, he did lie based off who she's the daughter of.
Right.
You feel me? She's the daughter of his brother. You understand? She's actually, when you get to the book of Joshua, Sarah is actually Lot's sister. Yes, Lot and Sarah are brother and sister. Their father's Haran.
Right.
Who got burnt up in that fiery furnace that Abraham was in before they left. Yeah, so that's his niece. actually. You feel me? So based off that, you feel me? But yeah, that's in Genesis 20. But then the king tried to do it again with Isaac and Rebekah.
Right.
Same type stuff going on. Dang, she fine. Saw Isaac sporting with his wife. Like, who was that? He over there, you know? Oh, okay. Well, dang, that must be his wife. I was finna take her.
Right.
Yeah, serious thing. He did. All right, so we'll go ahead.
Let me say this, and also, and when you look at it more supernaturally, how Abraham was looking for, he's still looking for that city that the Messiah is building as well. Yeah. This was just still temporary, the Canaan he was going in through. But the promised city, he was still looking at that, and that's where Abraham being resurrected, him and Sarah will be brother and sister. Yeah. Because that's what it says. They don't marry in the resurrection, but they'll be brothers and sisters. Right. So when he's looking for foreknowledge, or what's called the foreknowledge, looking down the road, technically in the kingdom, if you die before the second coming, whoever you marry to, that's going to be your brother or your sister.
No doubt. I'm like, what? For real? Yeah, it's what it is. All right, let's do this Genesis 13 chapter, then we're going to jump into some of these Gospels and show the calling as well. All right, where we at here, bro? Genesis 13, start around verse 1.
That's me?
It's on you, here, bro.
Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
See what happened? He comes up out of Egypt, a very rich man. Got all the gold, got all the silver, got all the cattle. Come on, Hebrew.
And he went on his journeys from the south even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai. Unto the place of the altar which he had made there at the first. And there Abraham called on the name of the Lord.
So he goes back to that spot of memorial, that altar he made back in chapter 12. Where the Most High appeared to him at, in between the house of God and a ruinous heap, and called on the Most High, thanking the Most High, right? For a journey that looked like it wasn't going to turn out too well, to coming out on top. You go right back to that spot of memorial. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And Lot also, which went with Abraham, had flocks and herds and tents. And the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together.
You see that? Now you know how it is, man. When you get to expanding, you may have loved ones or whatever. It's time you to get your own. Yeah, it's just part of it. Alright, Most High got a bigger plan. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land.
Look, so both they herdsmen are fighting. You feel me? And look, they still strangers in this land where the Canaanite and all them is dwelling. They the ones that's native to the land. Alright, Abraham and his nephew herdsmen are fighting each other over whose plot of land it is. All right, let's read, Hebrew.
And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren.
We brethren. That's his nephew, but that's his brother. We are brethren. We're kindred. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou wilt depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
And look, that's also a part of taking heed to this divine call. A separation happens, no matter how you like it or not. You may have mad love for the brother, may have mad love for the sister, whatever. But remember, the Most High is making a covenant with Abraham.
That's right.
He ain't making a covenant with Lot. He's making it with Abraham. Some type of separation is going to happen. On down the line is just what it is. You striving to be holy. You striving to be in the truth. Right? But you still amongst your family and all that. It's what it is because you love your loved ones. But why would you be surprised when there's some type of separation take place? It just ain't what it used to be. It ain't going to be what it used to be. You understand? You done dedicated your life to the Most High. There's going to be a separation. You don't do what you used to do. You go hang back out with the jack boys. Why would I be hanging with y'all? Unless I was letting y'all know to stop jacking everybody. Why would I be hanging with y'all if y'all not changing, but I'm striving to be holy and set apart? It's going to be some type of separation. You see, you come into the truth and you start thinking everybody going to love you for it. Everybody's going to accept you, and, you know, we're going to be holding elbows, and, you know, that's not, we're going to be stepping in the name of love. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. There's going to be a separation.
Yeah.
Get used to it. You see the Messiah say, look, I ain't here to bring peace, I'm here to bring the sword.
That's right.
There's going to be a variance between father and son, son-in-law and mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law. There's going to be a separation, right? I mean, you say, well, what kind of gospel was he teaching? Separation. Well, there was a separation between Abraham and Lot.
That's right.
It had to be. You understand? If you call yourself a covenant people, if you striving to be righteous, if you striving to live a set apart life, there's going to be a separation between the righteous and the wicked. It's just what it is.
That's right.
You understand? From the what? Wheat and the tares. It's going to be a separation. No matter how much love, carnal love you got for them. Yeah, you love your people. Yeah, you got memories of them growing up, and y'all, you take baths together and all that extra. Play with your little rubby duckies. Yeah, okay. But when it comes down to the plan, the big picture, the plan that the Most High got in store, there's going to be a separation.
That's right.
You can't be in your feelings about that. Abraham loved Lot. That was his nephew. Loved him. But hey, it's time to separate out. We brethren, let us not fight. But there's going to be a separation. Why? Because one is striving to be in covenant with the Most High.
That's right.
Abraham. The other one, Lot, he like, I'm just a businessman. Hey, I can make more money going over the side of make a mall. What the hell I look like staying over here with you? And fight. One is carnal and one is in the spirit. So by law, there's going to be a separation.
That's right.
That's just what it is. Get out your feelings, man. Get out your feelings. It ain't got nothing to do with, you know, you just think you better than everybody. I ain't said nothing. You think you holy. Hey, I'm striving to be holy.
Right.
I'm striving to be in covenant with the Most High. You understand? But when you come into what's called the truth, certain desires fall off you. You don't have certain same desires you had 5 years ago. You understand? Like me, I used to be a football fanatic.
That's right.
It's a love for you. Can tell me nothing about nobody that played football, pro or college. I knew all their stats. I knew the 40s they ran. I knew who drafted who went what number and what draft. I ain't catch a football game last year.
Right.
Not one. Super Bowl came on, I was asleep before halftime. Like, dang, man, how you ain't no bets on the game. I just don't have the same desires that I had.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I used to have all that. Used to have desires to go, make it rain or drizzle. Right. Over in Brooklyn. Yeah. I ain't never been able to make it rain, but maybe make it drizzle.
Cooling shower.
Yeah. Used to have this. I ain't went to no strip club in years. I can't even remember. You understand? It's just desires fall up off you as you get closer to the Most High. There's going to be a separation. There's going to be one. You understand? And some people may say, well, look, you're boring.
Right.
You know, you don't ever do nothing. Let's have fun. I'm having plenty of fun. You know, in righteousness, I'm having plenty of fun. I just ain't victim to what I used to be victim to. You feel me? And that's what's going to happen if you're increasing in this. If you're diligent and you constantly increasing in spirit, it's going to be a lot of stuff that roll up off you like a toothpick to an elephant. Like, what does that do? A toothpick won't even affect an elephant if you threw it at it. Same thing. It's just certain things going to fall up off you. Some of the sisters may have loved watching what's that show? Them shows, Basketball Wives or Hip Hop Wives. They used to love watching it, but then you done got into the truth and got, well, let me learn about the godly ways. How did Sarah operate? How did Rebecca? You start learning how women operate in the scripture. You ain't finna be arguing over if Remy Ma rap better than Nicki Minaj. You ain't finna be tripping off that.
Right.
You'll be like, I don't care about none of that. It's just what it is. So when the separation start happening, when certain desires fall up off you that used to have you but don't have you anymore, it just means you're growing in spirit.
That's right.
You understand? And I don't let nobody come at you try to play on you. You know, you're boring. You don't do anything anymore. I mean, I may be boring to you, but I do a lot. I do plenty. You understand? And I'm having plenty of fun staying in order with the Most High. It's just what it is, man. All right, so let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. Before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar.
So Lot looked up and saw all that plain and was like, look, that's where Sodom and Gomorrah was at. Notice he said it was well watered, right? So that means at one point in time, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities was flourishing. Very wealthy. It was the metropolis of its day. It was where everybody was trying to get to. You understand? The pitch tent there so they can make them some extra gold shekels. Yep. Sound familiar? Like America? Yeah, it was popping.
Right, compared it even as the garden of the Lord.
Yeah, compared it to the Garden of Eden. The garden of the Lord. You see that? See? So at one point, it could be prosperous. It may look to the naked eye. That's why I need to be. It's real successful. Like, you know, in Atlanta or someplace like that. Or, you know, a San Francisco or someplace like that. Right? Later for the moral decay that's happening. Later for how they living wickedly against the Most High. In your mind, you like, look, I can make me some shekels there. I can get established. I can build a dynasty there. You see? And that show you where Lot. You can always examine the mind of our people when you slow down and read these stories. That's right. And let you know where Lot's mind was in. Lot wasn't tripping off no covenant Abraham had. He was like, look, I can go make me some money over there. That's where I need to be. As of right now, it's striving. As of right now, the economy is booming. Bitcoin is going for this much on this. And you know, the next new innovative move, I can wait till we go public and I can sell my shares back. And yeah. It looked very prosperous to him. So he like, look, I need to go there. All right. And then Abraham was so cold with it in the spirit. He said, look, you choose. If you go left, I'll go right. You go right, I'll go left. Right? He chose a spot that will what? Establish him carnally.
That's right.
In the flesh. Let's read Hebrew.
Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan. And Lot journeyed east. And they separated themselves, the one from the other.
Yeah.
Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan. And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain. And pitched his tent toward Sodom.
Yeah.
But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
Exceedingly. We were reading exceedingly a lot today. Yeah. To be a wicked sinner exceedingly is not good. That means you're going over and beyond the measure of wickedness. So to your eye, to your carnal eye, it may seem like it's the place to be. At one point, Atlanta was the place to be.
That's right.
But now they're holding lectures down there, and they're calling the lectures "Make Atlanta Straight Again."
Oh.
That's how much homosexuality is running rampant in Atlanta.
Right.
They holding lectures called "Make Atlanta Straight Again."
Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
They say it's so many gay people out there now. They say 1 out of every 10 males got HIV. Or will get it.
None.
Calling it Little San Francisco.
Hey. But it may be better for you to go. You can go down there, sell you a case of waters, and be on the mall. Stand by the road, go buy you a case of waters for $3.25. Sell you each bottle for $2. Flip that about 5 times. Know certain people, you know. By week's end, you mess around and be able to move into an apartment or something. You won't be able to do that here in St. Louis.
Right.
So to the naked eye, it seems like that's why I need to be in something like that. And you ain't tripping off, hold on, the Lord got this place in his crosshairs. This place gonna get took off the map unless they turn around and repent. You understand? So mindset, Abraham in the spirit, looking for the city that God built. Lot not in the spirit, like I can make me some money over here. All right? All this going down with this divine invitation. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward.
Notice after the separation. Now the Most High appeared to him again. All right, come on.
For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever.
Remember, a call come out, the divine invitation, the promise come right behind it. I got you forever, you and your seed. He ain't said nothing about Lot. He ain't said nothing about Lot. Lot descended from Eber, he a Hebrew, but he don't got the promise. He don't got the covenant. He like Abraham, to you and your seed, I got you. After the separation. Separation has to happen. Come on, Hebrew.
And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth.
Woo.
So that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
Yeah, that's why Israelites everywhere. I watched the Olympics. It was a Negro on the Greek squad.
Yeah, yeah.
And y'all, some of y'all not heard no Gedaliah, our beloved brother Gedaliah.
Yeah.
Man, it was a Negro on the Greek squad, looked just like Yeti, hooping. I'm like, wow, how did he get over in Greece? Got a Greek last name and everything. Yeah. Yeah. We scattered to the fourth. We everywhere. No matter where you at, we everywhere. Because if we are as the dust of the earth. If you can number the dust of the earth, then you can number Abraham's promised covenant seed. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent, and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord.
He steady building altars. He built the altar in Shechem, between Bethel and Ai, and then right here in Mamre. He all over this spot building altars, pillars, memorials to his God in a strange land. You feel me? The Most High just made a covenant with him at the end of this chapter 13. Now question, was Abraham circumcised during this point?
Oh.
He hadn't even been circumcised yet.
The Most High straight dealing.
You see that?
So run the whole order we witness so far, without the circumcision.
So Abraham been called about everything he knows. His land, his kindred, you feel me, and his father's house. Right? He heard the call. The Most High promised him, told him, I'm going to bless you and your seed. In you shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Right? I'm going to bless those that bless you. I'm going to curse those that curse you. Abraham didn't bat an eye, left out of here. Out of here. Right? He gets to the land. He goes to a spot called Shechem, which means shoulders. He builds an altar to the Most High. The Most High appeared to him, say, hey, this the land I promised to you and your seed, I got you. Right? He move on further in this very same land. He's between Bethel, which means the house of God, and Ai, which means ruinous heat. Most High appeared to him again, builds another altar to the Most High. He got a whole tribe with him, right? Famine in the land, though. So he don't get weak and heart and like, dang, why am I here? Got to go down into Egypt. Go down into Egypt. Certain things transpire with him in his rib. He come up out of Egypt, a rich man. Gold, silver, cattle, servants, maid servants, men servants. You see? Then he gets back to the spot where he had his altar at. His nephew, herdman, and his herdman, they banging. You know, that's what happened when riches increase. There ain't enough room for everybody. There ain't enough room for everybody. Like, what y'all arguing about? Too much money, huh? Too much money, y'all still arguing. But it ain't enough. But in the spirit, it got to be a separation because the Most High made a covenant with Abraham, not Lot. He made a covenant with Abraham. Got to be some type of separation. Lot, because he's carnal and he's a businessman, he looks towards Sodom and Gomorrah and say, hey, well, that's where I need to be. That's successful, right? I can build me a dynasty there. I can pitch my tent toward there. My trade, I can do all that.
And this was a place where, if you repeat the scripture, this was a place where he chose a place where he had the most water.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you can pick anything.
Yeah.
He like, he knew it was more water over around Jordan there. He's like, I'm going to go there in front of you.
I'm going to go there. More water, more business, more life. It was very prosperous at the time. You understand? But Lot carnal. He ain't even tripping off the moral degradation going on. He ain't tripping off how all these men are against the Most High. He like, I can make me some money, sir. See, so you gotta watch that. Anytime your carnal, your spiritual mindset, you've been compromised. You've been compromised at that point. You understand? So after the separation, there has to be a separation between the righteous and the wicked. It has to be. Separation happened between Abraham and Lot. Most High appeared to him, makes an altar. I mean, Most High appeared to him, make another covenant with Abraham. Say, look, if they can number the dust of the earth, they'll number your seed. I trip off this. Abraham still ain't got no child. He over 75 years old at this point. He said, man, if a man can number the dust of the earth, they'll be able to number your seed. And he, like, you would think Abraham had about 20 children at this time. He's 80. He ain't got one child. Most High make a covenant with him. Abraham builds another altar. You see? So if you can look at, examine his life, and then examine your life and how you picked up the call to the Most High. You understand? There's ups and downs, there's trials, there's tribulations, there's separation on the way, right? It's famine, sometimes it don't look good. There's doubts or whatever. You gotta keep going. And as you keep going, as you keep enduring to the end, the Most High is steady blessing this man. More and more. And he's steady building altars to him. You see? All right, let's drop there real quick. We're going to come back to Abraham. Let's get into this New Testament real quick. Matthew, the 22nd chapter. Matthew 22. Matthew 22, 1 through 14. And this is about the divine invitation. The call of the Most High. Yahawah Elyon, the Lord God Most High. The Most High God of Israel. Matthew 22, 1 through 14. So never get in spirit or never get in your mindset that answering this call is going to be smooth as a baby's rear end. That's not the case. That's not the case. You be like, dang, I started, getting into some knowledge and some truth, and 100 levels of hell broke out. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. What if Abraham was weak in faith? First sign of trouble, he would have packed up and went back home. First sign of trouble. You see? Always have in your mind something is going to happen. It ain't nothing, even though you planned it. The brothers and sisters do an excellent job coordinating the events we do as a camp.
That's right.
Putting the Passovers together, putting the Feast of Tabernacles, putting all type of events together. But there's always, Daniel will tell you, there's always some type of unforeseen something that we got to adjust on the fly.
That's right.
Something always happens. You're like, dang, boy, we ran out of what? How do we do that? Oh, we did what? Dang, you forgot the who?
Yeah.
I remember the one, the bitter herb got forgot at Passover.
One Passover.
Yeah.
Didn't even remember the next one and leave that one at home.
Yeah.
But Sir Thomas was able to get on
Don't mind. Yeah.
home food and, plan B was adjusted. Yeah. But it's always going to be something, y'all.
Always. And you prepped it in your mind. Whenever you think it's just going to go smooth for you, and it's just because, Lord, it's me. I deserve for it to go smooth. Who are you?
Right.
We've been wicked our whole life. Everybody except these children, you done did some wickedness in your life. You ain't exempt from judgment. It's just what it is. And if the Messiah, who never sinned, if he caught what you would call hell in the flesh, what make you like, how are you not prepping yourself to go through the same thing?
Right. And
a lot of the stuff we go through, we call on ourselves. Yeah, we answering for stuff that we thought we got away with 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You're like, dang. And the Most High reminds you, you remember you poked them tires out? When you poked them tires out when you was 10, flatten everybody's tires on the block?
Right.
You wake up in the morning and all your rims stole.
Right.
Your car on bricks. You mad, you ready to go grab, the peacemaker and go find somebody. And the Most High tap you right on your shoulder and be like, you remember when you was a little nicklet doing your thing and you stabbed up everybody's tires and your father had to pay for all that? Big Mama had to pay for your transgressions? With her checkbook, you remember that? You slow you right on down. Like, dang, you really don't get away with nothing. No, you don't. You don't. What goes around comes around. You gonna ask for it, and usually come when you're comfortable. You're like, dang, everything going good for me today. Everything going cool. I done had a cool 4 days. No hell. It's only 4 days.
Right.
You did. I mean, you know, it good if it's a week or something, you know what I'm saying? But there's always something that come along that try your patience, try your faith, you know what I'm saying? There's always something to where you should be used to that by now. Be like, man, something gonna happen. Whenever you slip back in the mindset, like, everything should go smooth, Lord, because it's me. It's me.
Boy, it's me.
It's me. You know? Yeah. You setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. All right, let's do this Matthew 22, 1 through 14. We'll get back to Abraham in a minute. Matthew 22, 1 through 14.
Reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And Yeshua answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son.
Who know what a parable is? What are youngsters? Hold on. What are youngsters that up in here? What Davion there? That was Davion with his head down. What's a parable he broke? What are youngsters that? Them youngsters in the back. What's a parable? Nisi Poe? Yeah. Who know what a parable is? Young man, what's a parable? You know what a parable is? Huh? What's a parable? Don't be scared to ask. It's all good. A parable. What do you say? What do you say? Hey, it's all good. We your family, bro. You understand? It's all good. Spiritual lesson. Spiritual lesson. It's an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. So it's something to show you. It's something that you see every day. Like for the youngsters in the streets, you would give them a parable about street life. Right. You'd be like, well, look, you see this every day. The kingdom of heaven is like this, and you'll compare the kingdom of heaven to what the person sees every day. You see what I'm saying? So they can adjust their way of living. So they can, oh, okay, the kingdom of heaven is like, oh, okay, like I would have robbed him yesterday, but I didn't because I knew it was wrong. Yeah, a man went down to Jericho and fell amongst thieves. Right. You read that story to him. You understand? Which one of them showed him love? Dang, all right, that's what I'm supposed to be doing out here. So a parable is an earthly story. It's something you see in front of your eyes every day, and they compare it to the kingdom of heaven. That's right. That's all it is. All right. You got that, Davion? All right, that's what something come back to you, Hebrew. Don't be sleeping out here. Right back at you. All right. All right, the kingdom of heaven, let's get it again. Matthew 22 and 2.
The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son.
Come on.
And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come.
Also, the call go out, but it's some that's saying, no, we good. We gonna reject the call. We ain't trying to come show up to the wedding. We cool. All right, let's read.
Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage.
He like, look, I done set it out. Right. Dinner prepared. Let them know I got all they got to do is show up. Now remind you, he's likening the kingdom of heaven to this. So before you think it's about, you know, meet me at the altar. Right. You feel me? Right. Remember, he's talking about the kingdom of heaven. And he's comparing it to something that they will see every day, a marriage ceremony. You understand? So he's like, look, let them know, come on to the wedding ceremony. You feel me? I got all the food laid out. All accommodations prepared. All you got to do is come. Now, this is the Most High inviting you to the kingdom of heaven. All you got to do is come and be prepared. You see? This ain't about Drew Hill being sung in the background. All right? This is about you being prepared for the kingdom of heaven. All you got to do is show up and be prepared. All right? Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
But they made light of it.
They did what?
They made light of it. And went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise.
What do you mean they made light of it? Like, they didn't take it serious. There we go. They blew it off. They look like, man, like, so that's like you saying, like, look, man, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, right? It's ready. All you got to do is show up and be prepared. And your people say, man, I don't want to hear none of that.
Right.
Got no time for that. I got this money to get back to. You see? Old boy said he had to get back to his merchandise. He's a merchant. He makes money off his merchandise. The other ones, I got to get back to my farm, which also goes back to his money, feeding his family. You feel me? But remember, this is a divine invitation to the kingdom of heaven. It's a call from the Lord. All you got to do is show up and be prepared. Excuses get to pop.
That's right.
When it come down to do the work for the Most High, notice how many excuses pop up. It's always an excuse. It's always an excuse. It'd be money issues. It'd be, I'm tired. My spouse dumped me last week. Whatever. My children don't like me. I'm on child support. It'll be an excuse somewhere, some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
When it comes down to talking about the kingdom of heaven or spreading this gospel, there's an excuse pop up. Y'all ain't never noticed that? Because everybody don't accept the invitation.
That's right.
Everybody don't accept the invitation when you pop up talking truth talk. Truth talk is the new hate speech. So when you get talking truth today, you get hated on. So there's always an excuse. Trip off that. Every time you bring up something, it's seldom somebody say, hey, hold on. What you say? Man, that's deep.
Right.
Where you learning that at? Hey, can we get together? Can we, rap some more about that? I need to know about that. Huh? They want the invitation to the marriage ceremony. They want the invitation into the kingdom. Usually you're going to get resistance, and there's going to be some type of excuse behind it. All right, so they made light of it. Didn't take it serious, right? Come on, Hebrew.
But you notice he done sent for them twice.
Yeah.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them.
Dang, so now you slaying the ones that's out here teaching you about the kingdom of heaven. Like all the prophets in them that showed up. Like, look, change your ways. Stop doing that. All the men and women the Most High done raised up throughout time. Hey, stop that. Let's do this. Let's accept the invitation. All we gotta do is show up and be prepared.
That's right.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's the invitation going out. That's the divine calling. All you gotta do is your part and you good. Our people hate the truth so much and go back into their mindset. Who will kill you for the truth? Not because somebody done, killed your people or something. I'm talking about because somebody said, hey man, this is the truth right here. This is what we supposed to be doing and we not supposed to be doing that. We so prideful, we hate the truth so much, we done killed our prophets.
That's right.
We done killed and despised and mocked those the Most High sent. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city.
Yeah, come on.
Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
Come on. Now we servants of the Most High. Go ye into the highways. That means you're supposed to be spreading this truth on every platform made available to you.
Every chance you get.
Especially in this age of social media, what are y'all doing? Everybody on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Musically. I just found out about that one. All type of little Facebook, YouTube, all type of social medias. The highways is digital now. Brothers on the corners teaching, sit down lessons, all type of stuff going on. Right? So he say go into the highways and byways and bid that whoever you find bid to the kingdom. Tell them come on. All right, you got something, Nick?
Yeah, just even sitting about that story of Sabbath, right? And they was in the Syrian captivity, right? He even said, look, go find people that's serious about doing the will of the Most High. Hey, we have more than them.
Yeah.
Then you come on in.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you have no excuse. Here it is, we're in a Roman dispensation. Like then we're in a Syrian dispensation. You can't sit here and say it's no longer, but you know what, man, you can't do it, or whatever. The doors are always open and do the will of the Most High. You just got to choose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always been that, you feel me? And it's always been open. There's always been a remnant that had this knowledge.
That's right.
It's just what you gonna do, man. If you feel like the Lord is back burner material, you know, a God of your own convenience, then hey, have at it. And God, you pull out your soap box or your little shoe box from under your bed, set them up when you're ready to worship him, have at it. Or is he your life, the rock of your salvation? And if that's the case, then we got work to do.
That's right.
We've been bidden to the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Now those that made light of it, those that killed his servants, those that mocked, you see what he said? Hey, go burn their cities up and put them down for that. That's the judgment for everybody that made light of this invitation. The invitation is serious, and it's about eternal life.
That's right.
Man, I see if it was about something that was against the Most High. It's not. It's about you getting back your divine nature that our foreparents lost in the beginning. They reneged on paradise. You see what I'm saying? And the Messiah did what he did so we can have a right back to that tree of life. You either gonna renege or you either gonna be all in.
That's
one or the other. All right, you got something to throw my
That would make this the biggest shopping day on earth. They gotta go shopping. They ain't got time to worship.
Yeah, that's a good point. Everybody is in the malls today.
And then what I say, what is it more important on this whole earth than you ensuring the breath of life being blew into you another day for you to deny him? Or would you like to make, you know, right by the life that you give?
Yeah.
Hey, man, look, it's the birthday party for the kids, and then I gotta go get some shoes for the daughter tonight. He said nothing about the Most High.
Right, so you start seeing all the excuses that everybody come up with.
Right.
You feel me? And for real, it cuts you inside. You're like, dang, but you realize this, you can't want salvation more for somebody than they want it for themselves.
Absolutely, bro.
You did your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to be like that. Well, I'm saying we. I used to be like that. You know, be ready to Uzi everybody down with the scripture. Like, the hell you don't get. Be ready to fight everybody. They got bow-legged in the shoulders, right? They've gotten fights over the scripture, all of it, man. It's all type of madness, you feel me? But look, you can't beat this into nobody.
Right.
They gonna have to want this truth, man. And if they don't want it, hey, you gotta keep it moving. There's more lost sheep to wake up.
You find out just how many just comfortable being blind.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like the old man that told me, okay, stop right there, stop right there. If I don't know no more, I can't be accused of it.
No, he told you what?
He said, cut it off.
Yeah, I.
By your own words,
Yeah.
his own I told him it's too late. I'm standing right here and I'm already finished, mama.
Yeah.
You know that.
That spirit, look, what you were saying jarred his spirit. It jarred him out. Let's get to this. We almost done, Hebrew. All right, y'all, shalom, shalom.
You right. Shalom, bro.
Shalom, all right, Hebrew, shalom.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 10.
Yeah.
So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good.
Oh.
And the wedding was furnished with guests.
Bad and good, huh? Dang, what this mean?
Right.
That's real.
And when the king came in to see the guest, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment.
So the bad were the ones that weren't prepared. You see? He said they call bad and good up in there. But when he come in, if you ain't prepared, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb, just like this cat that didn't have his wedding garment on. Yeah. What you doing up here? Who is that? Y'all done heard that before? You done been somewhere you ain't supposed to be? Everybody, who is this nigga?
Right.
And everybody look over at you like, you know you don't belong up in there.
Nary a wedding going.
Yeah, you know you don't belong up in there.
Right.
Everybody looked over at you like, everybody got beef with you in there. They don't even know you. But that's look, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb if you're not prepared to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Just like this cat right here who didn't have a wedding garment on. He wasn't prepared. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot.
Toe tag and bag him.
And take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Not sure about that. You ain't heard wailing like that. You can't even imagine what that's like. Weeping and cutting, gnashing of teeth. You can't even imagine that type of wailing and screaming. He say, look, so that let you know whoever ain't prepared to be up in the kingdom of heaven ain't gonna be in there. You feel me? He say, toe tag, bag him.
That's right.
Bind him hand and foot, cast him headlong in the outer darkness. Get him about my presence. That don't sound like sweet Jesus, do it? No, sweet Jesus. Just love everybody. Love. Nah, the Christ we talking about gonna hold you accountable. If you ain't ready, you gonna be cast out headlong. So make sure you ready. Your wedding garment is you being prepared and ready to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
How do you get prepared to enter in, one might ask? By fearing the Most High and keeping His commandments. Having faith in the testimony of His Son. That's how. If that ain't your code of life, if that ain't your walk, you ain't got on no wedding garment. That's what that is. Cast headlong. Cast headlong in the outer darkness. And that ain't where you want to be at. You want to be in the kingdom. You understand? So if you're not prepared, if you're thinking all you got to do is just believe and, love like February 14th, love.
Right.
You sadly mistaken. Love is the keeping of God's commandments.
That's right.
That's what love is according to the Bible. It may not be according to your feelings. But according to the Bible, love is the keeping of God's commandments. Sin is the breaking of those commandments.
Right.
You see? So if you want to be prepared, fear God, keep His commandments, and have faith in the testimony of His Son, the real Messiah spoken of in that New Testament right there. You understand? Put down the ways of the world. And like from bunnies laying their eggs. We all know this, man. Bunnies don't lay no eggs.
That's right.
Get away from the Easter egg hunts. Get away from the Christmas tree ducking.
It's for the kids.
Get back to what thus saith the Most High. He already got His feast days. He already got what you're supposed to be doing. Get back into this Bible. You feel me? And instruct your path and your walk based off what thus saith the Most High. Will you be famous? No. You understand? Will everybody receive you? No. But you will be accepted by the Most High. And that's what you're in this for. You're not in this to be gaining friends and be loved by everybody,
right,
but not loved by the Most High. You understand? Yeah, you get kicked out of a few Facebook groups. A few people won't talk bad about you. Yeah, all right. But you ordering your steps according to the Word. You understand? And that's how you get prepared. And that's how you put on your wedding garment. You understand? Anything outside of that, you're going to be cast out. And that ain't what you want. Dan, you got something?
Say this here, and when we talk about wedding garments, when you hear people that don't understand it, like they'll always say, well, I know he in heaven. I know he with the Lord. Or, they came and talked to me. I know they watching the game. And all you ask them is, what garment did they have on? And they're going to tell you, I saw them in my dream. But the only thing they always tell you just ask them a simple question, what garment did they have on? And they're going to tell you they had on them funeral clothes. So they don't have a garment on at the wedding, so you can't make them saved before the judgment. Now, if they say something like, well, he had on all white, he was glistening, and there was a palm in his hand. Now we're talking about something different. You done had a vision into Abraham's bosom. But most of them, and he had on that bracelet I had gave him, and, did it for him. No, he ain't got on no wedding garments. He's still in the grave.
Yeah. Now look, that may hurt some folks' feelings. Because you thought before then that's what it was. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. About yeah.
Well, Satan masquerades as an angel of light. That's why the questions is to ask them, if you saw them, how were they looking? What were they dressed in? You want to try to get some information, because the subconscious mind, a lot of time we don't want to let go of nobody that's passed on. So you're trying to remember, and you only remember in the last thing you saw of them. You know, so what comes back to mind is the last thing I saw was them in a casket. So if you saw them in that realm, you're just still getting past the days of mourning, which it was mourning for certain days for certain individuals. You know, when a great man such as Jacob, they mourn for 40 days. But mourning has to be cut off so that you don't drive yourself into depression and won't leave and be a part with them. Well, you know, you see them come to you and they saying, baby, you know, everything gonna be okay, you gonna be all right, I'm cool. You know, that's your mentals playing on you, that you're seeing somebody to tell you they cool and they got on these earthly garments. No, you need to not heed to that from that perspective. Our minds just want to say something that we didn't say on this side. But the script warns us and it tells us ain't no device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you go before the resurrection. So if those things are happening, you have to play into mind. Sometimes, you know, things come to kind of clear your mind, you know, but, you know, we want to just see them so bad. You know, that's why he said, get out and the old saying, get them flowers where they can smell them now, you know, because they can't smell once they're dead. Ain't no sense of smell when you die. So that's all it is. You know, we don't want to make anybody think that, no, the vision I had, that was a demon or that was a false deal. You have to check your mindset and see, because the longing could get you to a point of where you go into a state of depression and you start forgetting about life. Life is for the living. And you have to go and let the dead bury the dead. Once they gone, you say a prayer, may the Most High have mercy on their soul, and you keep it moving.
That's right. But let's hit some of that real quick. We'll come back to Ecclesiastes 9. Real quick. Ecclesiastes 9. Let's just read that real quick for the sister. 4 through 10.
You want to say Matthew 22?
Yeah, hold that. We're not done. We got to go down to verse 14 in that, which is the next verse. But let's read this real quick. And our sister, Emal asked, is there a scripture on, like, once you die? You understand? Because some folks will be like, well, my people, you know, I know they in heaven watching me score my touchdowns, and you know what I'm saying? I know they watching me play basketball. There is a resurrection coming.
Yeah.
You understand? But the books are closed at that point once you give up your last breath. And that may 4 through 10. And that makes you take this walk a lot more serious. Right? If you just think people automatically die and go right to heaven, that's something we all were taught growing up. We all were taught that people die and go right to heaven, or go right to the lake of fire. That's not the truth. It's not the truth. Alright? Let's get this. Ecclesiastes 9.
Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 4.
4 through 10.
For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
The lion is the king of the jungle. But it says a living dog is better than him, than a dead lion. A living dog is better than a dead lion, because he still got life. All right, come on, Hebrew.
For the living know that they shall die.
Yeah.
But the dead know not anything.
Big Mama saw me score my touchdown.
The dead know not anything.
Big Mama saw me jump from the free throw line.
The dead know not anything.
Dead know not anything as pertaining to this life right here. It's a level of consciousness after you die, but Big Mama ain't watching you score no touchdowns. And you feel me? And we all done lost loved ones, so we ain't in here to sound bitter. You feel me? We all done lost loved ones that we wish we can just embrace one more time and all that. You understand? But the scriptures are the scriptures. Dead don't know anything. And contrary to popular belief, everybody don't rest in peace either.
That's right.
You feel me? He done shot the whole city up, raped everybody, sold dope. You feel me? And you put R.I.P. Lil Willie, that's not the truth. If Lil Willie didn't repent, he's not resting in peace.
Right.
That's the truth. Go ahead, Al.
You die, you don't know you dead. That's that fact.
Come on, Hebrew, let's read.
Neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun.
So I know she loved me. Said that her love, her hatred, her envy, all those emotions are perished. When you give up that last breath, that's all gone. Big Mama don't know it's 4:05 p.m. today, looking at you. We want that to be. We wish that's what it was, but according to the very scripture that we call holy, that's not the truth.
That's right.
All right? And we all again got loved ones we done lost that we desire to embrace. You understand? But the books have been closed. And that lets you know you got between your first breath and your last breath to get this thing right.
That's right.
You got one shot, one bullet. Don't miss. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Go thy way.
Yeah.
Eat thy bread with joy.
Yeah.
And drink thy wine with a merry heart. For Yah now accepted thy work.
You say enjoy yourself while you got breath. Eat your bread, drink your wine with a merry heart. Don't get drunk, but you know, enjoy yourself. For the Most High now accepts your works. Come on, Hebrew.
Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment.
You see that? Be looking good. Get yourself together, trim your whiskers. You know what I'm saying? Put on your little clothes, be looking good. Yeah, but why? Because time is ticking. Come on, Hebrew.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
Say, live joyfully with your wife all the days. Notice it say, of your vanity. You see? Because you can achieve everything you want to achieve and still miss the kingdom of heaven. That's why this is vanity. You understand? Put everything in its proper order, in its proper priority. You know, you ain't supposed to be putting none of these carnal things, not even yourself, not even your spouse, above the love of the Most High.
That's right.
Because your spouse can't give you the kingdom. You see? Your child can't give you the kingdom. It ain't theirs to give. Allow me, bro. You understand? Go ahead, Elyon. You got something?
I was saying, actually, according to the Bible, Matthew 6, it said heaven will be on earth anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah, thy kingdom come. Yeah. You say it in your prayers all the time. But that lets you know we're robots. We're programmed. You feel me? Our faith is based off sound bites today.
That's right.
You say it in your prayers, don't even know. You're praying for God's kingdom of heaven to come to earth. And which it will be. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life.
In this life, come on.
And in thy labor which thou takest under the sun.
Come on.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Whatever you got planned on doing, you better get to it. You better get to it. Time is ticking. Go ahead, Hebrew.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave.
In the what?
In the grave, whither thou goest.
That's that scripture right there, Elyon. You understand? Ain't none of that knowledge, device, hatred, envy, love. Ain't none of that in the grave. It say, while you got breath, you better live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of the life of your vanity. Time is ticking, man. And that's the sobering reality of this life that we live. Now, if we want into the next world, the kingdom, everlasting kingdom, make sure you got your wedding going.
That's right.
Come prepared. Prepare yourself to enter into Yah's eternal rest. You do that by keeping the commandments and holding the faith and testimony of his son. That ain't a religion, it's the way of life. If you want into the kingdom. Now, if you ain't into eternal life, if you ain't into streets of gold, if you ain't into the New Jerusalem with gates, with the 12 tribes of Israel, if that's not your cup of tea, hey, do what you want to do.
That's right.
But there's still a spot that you're going to stay for eternity. And it's called the lake of fire. It's either the gates or the lake. There is no in between. The gates or the lake. There are no gray areas. No one's neutral in this.
Right.
There are no neutral gang colors. It's either the gates or the lake. Here y'all go, man. Here y'all go, man. Here y'all go. Gate to the lake. You hear that, Hebrew? That's the next one.
What is it?
Hey, it's the gates of the lake.
Right.
Them Hebrews back there.
And let me say this too. So now let me just read this Revelation 9, 6 and 9, because I'm saying the garment, that if you don't see this in your dream or see them, they come to you in your dream, this is what we're talking about. Did they have on their wedding garment when you saw them? Because if they're coming back talking to you, they're saying, I'm at peace, don't worry about me, I'm with the Lord or whatever. So you got to ask about that wedding garment. I'm going to read this real quick now and then let you move on. Just Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yah, and for the testimony which they had.
Yeah.
And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also, and that their brethren should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. So white robes is given to them and palms in their hand. You read that also in some second Ezra as well.
Yeah.
They say the same exact thing. So that's what you're looking for in the memory, in your dreams, how they coming to you, so you can determine, am I just wanting and longing for my missed relative, or is this truly a message from the Most High from that relative? Because we know Joseph heard his mother's voice at the grave right before he was taken into Egypt. And then we got the way where Rebecca died and they buried her. Right there, and that's a monument mark that people pass that way, but we have to keep dead things to a certain level, or we'll cause problems for ourselves subconsciously.
Yeah.
And you'll be wanting to see that dead one more than you want to see the Messiah. And that's going to be a problem.
That's what we're talking about. Well, sobering reality, ain't it?
Yeah. I just had surgery, and from the time they put me out to the time I woke up, it seemed like I just blinked my eyes. And I look up, it's been 4 hours.
How long were you in that coma, bro?
Then 18 months.
He was in a coma 2 months and woke up, they had to show him a newspaper.
Felt like 5 minutes, huh?
Like he,
You say what?
yeah, like
Just left the club?
simple.
Straight up, huh? All praise, bro. You still in the land of the living.
That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. It's 17 years.
You have no contract.
This one is my
No.
thinking. I ain't think I was living long.
Yeah.
They were looking for the machines. The diapers on. I couldn't do nothing. I want to say, who got him to it?
Straight up.
Every sin.
All praise, bro. Still in the land of the living. All right, let's finish off that Matthew 22, that last verse is verse 14.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14.
Yeah.
For many are called, but few are chosen.
All right, drop it. Let's go to Luke 14 next. Luke 14, 25 through 33. Luke 14, we got a couple more and we're going to get up out of here.
25 through 33.
Yes, sir. Luke 14, 25 to 33. The divine invitation.
Yes, sir.
The call of the Most High. You see, it's a calling, it's a promise, and you act on that charge or that promise or that call because you got faith and belief in what the Most High promised you. Alright? And as we see with our forefather Abraham, who was called the friend or the love of the Most High. Friend means love. You feel me? He had to go through all type of trials, up and downs. Feel me? Sometimes it looked like it ain't look too good, but he stayed faithful. The Most High told him when he didn't have not one son. And you know how to number the dust of the earth? That's how numerous your seed gonna be. If you can number dust. And he told that to him when he promised that to him when he didn't have one child. He over 75 years old. Y'all have been gave up.
Right.
We'd have been gave birth. I ain't know no children coming.
Right.
God lied to me. Yeah, God lied to me. Yeah, wife was 90, wasn't she? Like 90 years old?
Yeah.
He was 100. That's when they finally got their promised son. Right? You said, yeah, they would say they was bipolar. They would say that. That was crazy.
Right.
Yeah, right. Them voices in your head. Right. You running around here building all these altars to your unseen God, Abraham. You still ain't got no seed. You see, you can hear the mockers and the haters right now. You see, but that's why when you read in the book of Romans, when Paul is talking about Abraham, he said, who against hope believed in hope. When everything looked like it wasn't going to happen, he still didn't waver because he knew the Most High was with him. Do you understand? And that's how we got to be. Even though you promised it, even though you've been faithful and took heed to the call, and according to your carnal mind, it ain't going how you thought it would be going.
That's right.
You thought you would be ice skating and, you know, see-through golden see-through ice skates by now. You feel me? On the streets of gold. What's taking God so long? But that's why I say what? Add to your faith, your belief, patience as well. Abraham is an excellent example of patience. You understand? Like he get called about his homeland at the age of 50, stop over in Haran for 25 years, till he's 75, leave Haran at 75, and finally make it to the land of Canaan. Finally make it there. You understand? Still ain't got no seed. Been thrown in the fiery furnace, all of it. Had patience. Patience is the key. You understand? Patience. You ain't got no type of patience. You expecting, you got magic faith.
Right.
You expect something to happen like that. That's magic.
Right.
That's magic. That's not faith. You understand? Everything goes through a process before it's finally manifested right in front of you. Everything. I don't even care if them heathens talking about the law of attraction. Man, okay, well, all you doing is believing, having faith in what the Most High promised you. And not wavering off that. And notice, they can't just, I believe I'm being a 3-story house, 5 cars, black on black, all brick, 4 wives.
Right.
Hey, look, right. It still take what? Years for it to manifest. Yeah. So if you ain't got patience, you dealing with magic.
Right.
You feel me? The Lord don't deal in magic. It's what it is. Patience has to take place. All right, go ahead, bro.
It was in the class, they got where they similar, where they fill up all the hotels just to tell them how to use faith.
Yeah.
Tell them to believe you connect yourself to.
Yeah.
All you do is believe what it's $2,000 a seat.
Yeah.
Right. $2,000.
Yeah. To teach you how to use faith. Well, which is right here in the scripture.
Right.
It's just a strong conviction, being fully persuaded in what the Most High promised you. All right. And so when doubt creep in, that's the enemy of your faith. That's the devil telling you, look, don't really believe what he promised you. You looking like Boo-Boo the fool out here talking about you gonna get into a kingdom.
Right,
and what you waiting on somebody to come out the sky? What is wrong with y'all?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's an attack on your faith. But see, without faith, you can't please him.
Right.
All the men that the Most High dealt with, all the women the Most High dealt with had to believe in what he was saying, and they had to have patience to receive the promise.
That's right.
All of them. What make you different?
And y'all, and that's the difference in the word the scripture always use, hope versus wish. Wish is magic, like he's saying. You magically hope something is under the pillow because I put my tooth under there. No, it ain't. But when you hope for things, there's a process with hope.
Yeah.
You work something out, and then you're hoping that at the end it goes like it was planned. Wishing is something totally.
You feel me? He had to embrace the whole situation. Like, man, I got full faith in the Most High. You uncircumcised heathen, you're going down today.
Today.
You gonna know it's a God in Israel. And that big old sword you got, I'm cutting your head off with your sword. You see? That's how you gotta be, man. You gotta rock with the Most High in full faith, even when it seems like ain't nothing cracking for you. You gotta stay down until he call you about this deal. You understand? And watch the miracles start happening for you. But if you jump ship at the first sign of danger, then yeah, stay on your porch. You're not ready. You're not ready. Stay on your porch. You know, get him a thermometer, give him some soup, pat him on his back, tuck him in. He's not ready.
He ain't ready.
He's not ready for this spiritual scrap. All right, let's get this Luke 14 now.
And let me say this,
Go ahead.
Sister George too. Also, the Messiah wept for Lazarus. So we understand when you lose a loved one.
No doubt.
It's very painful. But his sister said, you know we're gonna see him at the resurrection.
That's right.
So they had grieving under control. They knew it was a time I'm gonna see him again. But the Messiah let them know, I'm gonna show you the power of the resurrection. So your belief, what you're hoping to see that may be some thousands of years from now, I'm gonna show it to you right now. Lazarus, come out of there. You know, so they had full well understanding, but he was here to show you everything my father told me is legit. I'll show you, and then so you know that your hope wasn't in vain. Because they acknowledge, we know we're going to see him at the resurrection. You know, so in like manner, if you know you're going to see him on the resurrection, you know, you got to just pay attention and you're saying, I hope to see him on this side of the resurrection. But once they're gone, that's the end of it for them as far as what work's been accomplished. The books is going to be open. After that point, it's on the Most High.
Real talk. Let's do Luke 14.
Read, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Reading from the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 25. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Most of y'all ready to close the book right now.
Right.
No. He just tell me to hate my mama and my sister and my wife. And you ready to close the book.
Hate myself.
Even myself also. But no, he let it be known you can't love nothing on that list more than him. You feel me? You got to love that less than you love him. Because none of that can get you into the kingdom. See, so he said, look, if that ain't your mindset, stay on your porch. You're not ready to be my disciple, my student. You see, it's a level of thick skin that you got to arrive at to be in what's called discipleship in this.
That's right.
Because the devil will use all that's on that list against you. You understand? So we ain't telling y'all today go home and cuss your mama out and tell you hate her. That's not what they're saying. Because then that would be in violation of honoring your father and mother.
That's right.
You feel me? So again, whenever you read something that seems as if like, damn, that seems off or whatever, slow down. What is he really saying? He letting it be known you can't love them more than you love me.
Nor your own self.
You feel me? Not even yourself. Right? Like with the Messiah. He like, I love my father so much, I'll take myself about this situation. Let your will be done. I don't want to go to the cross and get executed like that, but hey, let your will be done. That's our mindset. You have to be like that. Right? Because we talking about eternal life. We're not talking about you jacked up on all these emotions. Bottom lip fumbling, talking about you crying, talking about you loving your mom. We all love our mothers and fathers up in here. But I don't love them enough to go to the lake of fire. Okay. So you mean to tell me your love stops at a certain point then? Yeah, love you. It's all day love you.
But
better not nobody talk bad about you, mama. They gonna get the fire slapped about their jaw if they talk bad about you in front of me. But there's always a but. There's always a but. Mama, I love you. You understand? Could never repay you for what you've done for me. But there's a but. I don't love you more than the Most High. I don't love you more than his son, and I don't love you enough to burn eternally for you. So yeah, my love has a limit. You understand? And that's all that's going into. And once you put it in its proper perspective, you be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because nobody, including yourself on that list, can give you eternity. That's right. Can give you the kingdom. All right? So if that's not your mindset, you can't be his disciple. Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
He's not talking about getting a chain with a cross put on it around your neck. That's not bearing your cross, right? The cross represents what? Persecution, execution, all that. So he's saying, like, look, if you're not willing to go through the persecution, feel me? Like he had to carry his cross to his execution, like he had to get beat, spit on, mocked, punched, whipped. But he just letting it be known, if you follow me, all this is gonna happen to you as well. Like the world gonna come at you for this. All right, that's bearing your cross. When you go over to your family house and you let them know, like, look, it's things I don't do no more. I ain't down with that no more. You understand? And all them aunties laugh you out the house. Boy, you was a who? Get big mama for this boy's a black Jew, girl. Where's your dreidel? Where's your dreidel?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't got the little hat on the top of your head?
Right.
You see, what them Jonan uncles?
Yo.
You understand? And look, that's light persecution, y'all. That's not even real persecution. That's like mocking. Okay.
Right.
Wow. They called the Messiah the devil.
Yeah.
They called him Beelzebub, the prince of the demons. So just because you got a few aunties that don't know the truth and they over there getting drunk, and some of your uncles, they saying uncles or whatever, and they like, yeah, girl, he a black Jew, and everybody fall out laughing. Man, and say you in a coat, think you crazy. You feel me? If you can't take that, you not nowhere near ready for what's coming. Because in a minute, they're going to be hunting the true believers in this. There's going to be a mandate. It's already on the records. They just not executed. They got executive orders to come shut everybody down that believe in the truth. They coming. They already got you in a file, a dossier. You understand? They already got your name, your aliases, what you like. They got your Facebook profile. What's on your mind? They got the blood type, like you saying. They know exactly how many children you got, how many baby mamas you got. They got all that. Prison records, health records. They know all of it. So eventually,
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Hey, so eventually, the real persecution, big brother, government, the all-seeing eye, you know, like that's a whole nother topic too, but
yeah,
that government been persecuting the righteous going back to what Moses, government trying to kill all the Hebrew males, the birth of the Messiah, kill all the males, you understand, get at the women, cause disruption in the household. So when we say they, we talking about the powers that be, the evil families that run this world, that have a covenant with the cloven-footed one called Hashatan. They, you understand? That's what we talking about. What's up, Hebrew?
It's like David Joel went out and Edom cut off every man.
Yeah, well, that's what they did in Edom, but we talking about like what the government did with us.
That's what I'm saying. What they do with us is like almost like repayment for that.
It started before then. It started.
Right, I know what I'm saying, but I don't know our history. I asked them to went down there and did that together.
There could be a subconscious type thing going on, but I mean, whenever we did certain things, it was more than likely payback for how they was getting at us. You know what I'm saying? You got something else?
Is that a spirit or like our free will choice?
No, stiff-neckedness, rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft.
Okay.
So when you rebel, when you being stiff-necked, you feel me? That's witchcraft. That's sorcery. You feel me? That's you choosing to rebel and go against the Most High. I mean, being that there's so many of us that stiff-necked, it would seem as if that's something in our DNA. It seems as that. You understand? But the Most High wouldn't have told us to choose life or choose death.
That would be an excuse on Judgment Day.
Yeah, no
you
doubt.
put that in my DNA, I couldn't learn.
Yeah. All right, come on, Hebrew, let's get it.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish.
So if you was building something, you wouldn't count the cost to make sure you had the budget to actually finish this project? And talking to my brother, Mordecai, I'm saying he build houses. These brothers up here pretty proficient with their hands too. But it's something they know what this parable is going into. Like if you was getting into a project and building something, you would make sure you had the proper budget to finish the project. So we say, well, look, if you do that on carnal levels, why wouldn't you do that with me? Like, why wouldn't you count the cost it's going to take for you to be my disciple? There's a cost that comes with that, right? There's mocking, there's persecution, there's separation. There's all type of stuff. And if you jacked up on emotion, if you the type of to wear your heart on your sleeve, you gonna fall out the ranks. First sign of danger, you gonna jump ship. So he's saying, like, look, if you count a cost before building the building, count the cost before you become my disciple. Because it comes with a cost. Even with most, you want to lay your life down. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 29.
Yeah.
Lest haply, after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
You be drove, especially you start off in this saying, Shalom! Yahawah Shem Outside Brakatah. Yeah, all right, I hear you. Yahoo! Yeah, Yahoo! Then somebody see you next week and you Al-Islam.
Right.
You feel me? Right. You so-and-so bad. Okay. Oh, you believing back into white Jesus now and all that extra. You feel me? That's somebody that didn't count the cost. You ever ran into somebody that came into the truth, was on fire, and then you looked up and they just totally retired. They ain't into none of that no more. It's because they didn't count the cost. The call went out, the promise went out. You understand? You had the faith, so you say, right? But as soon as something comes, as soon as something don't go your way as you planned, you jump ship. You didn't count the cost. You feel me? There's an invitation that go out, there's a promise, but you better count the cost. Because it's going to be all type of hell break loose in your life. And that ain't to scare you, that's to prepare you. You feel me? We got the scriptures as a comfort. We got all type of brothers and sisters that went through it. You understand? To where you be like, oh, okay, well that sister got through it, I can get through it. For the sisters. The brothers, we got, that brother went through it, dang, he ain't lost, what? Dang, okay, I can get through that. That mother lost 7 sons in one day because they refused to eat swine. So what little problems you having with your sons and daughters, you can get through it then. You feel me? The scriptures was given to us for our comfort. Right? So count the cost. Come on, Hebrew. My bad.
Verse 30. Say, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king